Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of Worldshaper Games, Rime of the Frostmaiden. Um, Today we have our lovely group with us, and we are going to see what they do in the tomb. We normally go around and introduce ourselves a bit and a tiny bit about their characters and maybe how they're feeling in the moment, and then we do a recap. So, Jack, if you would like to take it away.
Certainly. Hello, everyone. I'm Don Hayes. I play the character Amelia. She is a human rogue hailing from Waterdeep. She has come to Icewind Dale to find out what's going on with the caravans, why the caravans have stopped making deliveries to and from Waterdeep. And along her travels, she came across these three adventurers and joined up the party and is now trying to work with them to stop whatever is causing this unforgiving ice.
Excellent. And then Dave, a bit about yours.
Yeah, I am David. I play Quinn Fairkettle. What the hell am I doing?
Finn?
I know, right? I am a Twilight Cleric, or Shantea, or Shanti, which is a correct pronunciation. She comes from Waterdeep as well. Niece of the Featherkeeper of Innkeepers guy from the last campaign. And yeah, she's tanky, big shield. Yeah, likes to heal people.
Little person, but big personality.
That's it.
Potentially there.
How about you, Levi?
We just skipping Greg away, but that's fine.
Yeah,
Hi,
Greg's
I'm Levi. Okay, cool. I'm playing Cassius von Deuce, half-elf extraordinaire. Well, something along those lines. Yeah, so I'm a half-elf. I am a fighter, so I'm like the one doing all the damage, clearly. Stopping these reprobates from dying. Yeah. And Cassius is got a dad, a human dad, sorry, and a elf mother, and he essentially got to the stage in his life where he decided he wanted to go off and look for adventures, very inquisitive, all that good stuff, and is now happens to be in not Waterdeep, that's the wrong place. Now happens to be in Icewind Dale, and heard about all the stuff going on and has gone there to find out. And along these travels has met up with this ragtag bunch of cretins, crew members, and all in all is just there to help them out and be the positive force that they all need in their life.
Amazing. And finally, but no means last, Greg, you're holding, what is that, Dende you have there?
Yes, hello, I'm Greg. This is Dende, my pet bearded dragon, and we are Egregious Games. And I play Zufira, Zufira Snowbeard, who is the one Icewind Dale native of the group. Born and raised dwarf from the Snowbeard family, an old traditionalist family. Dender's closing his eyes. He don't want none of this shit. And yeah, she's a ranger. She's basically kind of a bit anti-civilization, a bit like I don't want to do all these obligations and all this shit. I just want to go off and do my own thing and be solo and be a hunter. Recently went and tried to save a dragon's life, failed, and now found herself haunted by the spirit of this dragon, Denderoliath, named very originally. And she ended up with this group, and now she's seeing where things go.
Nice.
Yay.
And I hear also you wanted to do the recap this evening.
I can do the recap just because I took pretty good notes last session.
Yeah.
So, last session, we finally arrived at Goodmead. We met the speaker. We didn't meet the speaker. We met who went right into the pub. That was my first note, was the speaker. But the speaker is dead. We went into the pub, met Grant, Grant Holmes, who knows Dukut, our traveling companion, who we met earlier, and Night Stout, the half-orc. And we found out that all the ale in the town, or a lot of the ale, has been stolen by a Verbeeg and an ogre. The town speaker put up a good fight, but got hit hard by the ogre and died, or the Verbeeg. It was kind of ambiguous at the time. And so we decided to go out and try to find the ale and get it back and maybe deal with this ogre and this Verbeeg. In the meantime, there's a small thing going on where there are two people stepping up to become the new town speaker, a red-bearded shield dwarf named Shandar Froth and Olivessa, or Olivias, Hunterfor, a middle-aged woman who descends from the town's Chilton founders and who makes casks to house Goodmead's famous brew. So anyway, we went out, we passed some people, we passed a squirrel who may or may not have been a talking squirrel, but we never found out because our half-elf fighter collapsed. Turns out that Cassius has had a magical awakening of sorts. He has memories. He sort of learned the basics of magic, but couldn't ever learn how to cast it. But that has awakened, and now Cassius is an Eldritch Knight.
It was a fox. It was a fox, not a squirrel.
Yeah.
Fox, yes.
Yeah, the fox.
The most important of details. Sorry.
Arctic fox.
Very important, yeah. But we went on. We found some more bodies. Turns out the town guard had gone ahead of us, and they all got killed, unfortunately, by what seemed to be a large club, possibly a great club. Who could have done that? We went further into the forest, the Arctic forest, and we found a Chwinga, which is a little forest spirit throwing snowballs at Zufira.
So tiny snowballs.
Yeah, it was at this point that Denderaliath, the spirit who's been haunting Zufira, decided to finally manifest into a sort of physical form. And he managed to talk the Chwinga down spirit to spirit, who decided to lead us to the home of this ogre and Verbeeg. Where we went, we snuck around a little bit. Zufira and I forget everyone's names, everyone's character. Olivia and Amelia snuck around a little bit, checked things out, and we decided to confront them in case we could talk this out peacefully. Didn't go great, but it seemed like the Verbeeg didn't know everything that was going on, and Amelia, with a nat 20, managed to notice a demon or a devil, something with horns running through the back. I'm just going to do this in Dende's voice, I forgot. So we decided that we would go in and we would just, sort of kill the ogre. And so we did with a nice surprise round. We killed them all, and it was rather brutal. And we, but didn't want to kill the Verbeeg, so Zufira tried desperately to talk the situation down from a violent one, managed to convince the Verbeeg, managed to, with Cassius's help, stop the party killing his bear, which is why he started fighting again. And, there was a lot of tension going on. Amelia very mad that people from her town had been killed and their ale had been stolen.
Quinn.
Not me.
Quinn, sorry. Quinn very mad. Yeah, Quinn, the native of Goodmead, the resident cleric of Goodmead. So we had a bit of a heated discussion, but we talked everyone down. We decided we were going to go after this demon and leave the Verbeeg alive for now, and see if we can find out what the true story is behind this thievery. For the Verbeeg, who was told he would just be given this ale, told that there was no thievery involved.
We also made a trade. We traded, or we made Amelia made the deal to trade 5 of the cattle, the livestock that was in their holding pen, for one.
Yeah, it was like goats, wasn't it? Or sheep or something.
Exactly. For one casket of ale.
Yeah.
Everyone's a winner.
We also had a snowball fight. That happened.
Oh yeah. So that was the most important thing of the
a lot of just
session.
Quinn and Cassius is standing around outside while
we were with Dendar and I were like playing catch or something. I can't remember what we were doing. He was having a read of a brochure that he'd given me.
Just in case it's important, we did meet that guy from Goodmead back to us at Faith Moran. Yeah. He was just like a trader or something, hunter.
Yeah. And
in case he comes up again. Doubt it, but you never know.
One quick question. We have not rested since the combat happened, have we? So, cool. I just want to double check that because I've got things written down here.
Yeah, and we've gone downstairs.
Was blocking the doorway so that nothing else could get through outside of
Yeah.
us. And
We
then
are looking
we
at a,
literally just went in, and that is where we at. And we've also
We're
got
looking
one
at two, really.
inspiration roll
Oh, we
from
have
the
got
end of last
inspiration.
sesh,
Yeah,
which I've never heard of before until
Oh,
last
yeah.
session.
it's something
Yeah,
I never really
yeah.
bother with. But yeah, you get to roll advantage, or you can cancel out
But you must
disadvantage.
say you're using it before you do the roll.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a roll advantage or cancel out a disadvantage you have.
Open my window.
And yeah, I will say that our last session probably my favourite so far of this campaign. It was a lot
Pretty
of good
good.
role play.
Pretty
There
good.
was-
Yeah, we're kind of hitting our stride with the characters, I think.
Yeah, we've got obviously Quinn and I think Cassius on a slightly different level. Cassius not
Agreed.
used to how the natives work in this area. I say not that you're native, but you have lived
Sweet
up here.
summer child.
Yeah, he's like he's not happy with a lot of things, but he's
Yeah, he
learning.
is.
Some might
Hmm.
say we were hashtag quinning.
Hell yeah. Quinn all
So,
day.
with those recaps out of the way, we will jump straight in.
Okay, so
Try not to laugh. It's like, don't
The
give
dad
it to him.
joke is
Don't give it.
terrible.
Don't give him the satisfaction.
that's how I feel every day living with Dave when he makes a bad pun in the morning. I'm like, no,
I make great puns.
No.
What are you talking about?
So, we are standing in a tomb at the moment. As the cat again, I will read a tiny bit, and so that you guys can imagine what it is we are in. So, carved steps on the south side climb 5 feet to the 10-foot high, 15-foot square room, which has narrow natural exits in the east.
Sorry,
and west
before
walls.
we go any further, can I
Yeah.
just interrupt because I forgot to do this in the session last time. I did do it midway through, but I just want to say a big shout out at the beginning to Miguel C for providing the artwork for Denderaliath, and his link will be in the description. but thank you again, Miguel.
Yes. So yes, you're standing in a chamber with exits on the east and west, and you came in. In the middle of the room is a rectangular stone block, 7 feet long, 4 feet wide, and 3 feet tall.
Yeah. We'll go there.
Pictographs on the walls of the chamber tell a tale of one tribe's journey through mighty mountains and across a perilous tundra. So that's kind of like pictured along the walls. What would you like to do?
So I
Is
think we just
there-
need to check down south first, just to make sure there's nothing escaped, gone down that
Is the-
way,
Is
and
the
then.
turn order currently
Oh
going?
no, I don't think so.
Not
not in
really. I'll
combat.
get rid of it.
Okay, cool, yeah. Yeah, I guess just
split up.
always a great idea.
Look for
Yeah,
clues.
that always makes
Guess
me
we
nervous.
just-
But I'm just thinking, like, we just need to check that it's not like we go.
I feel like
darting off into
Dende
the
needs to
left
go
and then
with
it's like-
Cassius, the Scooby duo.
Yeah.
You
All right,
can also
Scoop.
you can also see that around this stone sarcophagus there's there's very obviously a lid that's on there.
Okay.
Oh wait, there's
I'm
a
gonna-
sarcophagus. Oh right, that's what's in the
Yeah,
middle of the room.
That's what
We
the
need to
Yeah,
check
bring
this
it up
out.
on
Yeah.
here. Oh, I didn't realize we were on this thing. Right.
If-
Okay.
If there's a
Is-
sarcophagus in the middle and we're going to open it, then Zufir is drawing both her swords.
I will
well,
open it
it's
if you
up to you
want.
guys what you do.
Two.
But there is essentially because the whole passageway up to this point has been a tribe's like tomb.
Do I
Hands
need to
on
do
the
a strength check if I want to push it open?
You will do, yes. It's a
All right.
big heavy stone slab.
All right.
You can try and push it open. You'll probably gauge you'll need all of you to push it
Okay, I
open.
was going to say, should we,
Yeah, I'll help.
if I roll, or does somebody want to roll and then do it at advantage? Because we're all pushing.
Just you
Yeah,
roll
you
advantage,
can-
I
I
guess.
you
don't
could-
think
Basically, you
and
can
then
all
pause
get
it.
on. You can all get one bit and use all of your combined strength to push it off.
I mean, I'm probably just standing slightly
All
up
right.
back.
I will push it, but we'll say I'll take advantage if it's
Yeah.
higher than
Say I'm back here because I'm like, I don't want to disrupt the turn.
16.
16. You get to the red bit. Is it just you pushing?
No,
All
that
of
would be an
us.
advantage. If
Yeah.
we're all
All right.
pushing.
I need
I'm-
all of you to
Oh, okay.
make this roll because I
I'm-
need to basically add them all together and see what the
Oh,
combined strength
okay.
is from all
Yeah,
And
of
mine
you.
will be 6
see.
if we're not taking mine as normal.
I'm
Oh, it's just
definitely
normal.
not Wait, you did a
11.
strength save, Levi.
Oh, did I?
No,
Whoops.
strength
I was rather...
Wah, wah.
Yeah, you got 16 anyway. That worked out all right.
Ooh, 20 from Dende.
Good old Dende. He's a dragon. I'd expect him to be strong.
Ah, you did it.
Pause up on there. He's
Um,
behind it.
All right. So you made enough strength to be able to push over. It grinds open and it slides off the other end onto the floor next to it. And you see inside there is a tribal woman with a headdress and very fancy sort of tribal clothes. You can probably guess that she is the chieftain of this tribe. Obviously, it's a skeleton in robes that are basically tatters at this point. Tribal garb that's in dust, and there's lots of dust in there. There's lots of tatters in there. You do also see in the left hand there's a white. Oh, I wish I had the actual thing. There is a white pearl. I might go and get it for fun. And then in her right hand is it's like a stick about yay long that has intricate carvings on it. And that's
Yay
what you
long?
see
I
inside.
didn't see.
It's about,
Little stick.
6 inches or so. It's a stick that gets narrower at one end and then bigger at the other.
A wand.
Mm.
I was just thinking wand.
I'm not gonna touch anything myself because I'm like a bit dodge. Don't know what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, this isn't what we're looking for,
But
I would say.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have no interest.
I guess we go into the chamber to the left.
Zufira
here.
would Zufira is interested in this before we move on, because it could be a false bottom. Well, first off, can I do an investigation check for anything untoward that we don't see about this? Like
You can do.
false
Incidentally,
bottom
that's the
or-
orb that you see inside.
and yeah, about this orb. Well, I'm just curious about all of this. As a player, I'll be honest. 15 on the investigation.
15, just investigation.
Yep.
Ba, 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 ba. It all seems pretty sound. You don't see any trap mechanisms.
Are these items that we might find useful at some point in our journey? For the more magically inclined among us?
Not sure what these items are, truth be told.
I mean, I'd probably
Andy,
recognize
do
it
you
for
know
one.
anything
but-
about these items? Can I do like a history check or something to see if I know anything about these? Or...
Do a history check or a more like an arcane arcane check if you.
Arcana's not great, but I'll do it.
Yep.
13?
13. Not too bad. That'll be a spell. Yeah, you get that. This is that's high enough. This is a wand that is wand of the war mage. It's called. You can see the intricate carvings are the same carvings for that particular wand. And the pearl is a pearl of power.
Yeah, that's good. Thought it
Yeah,
might
these are
be
both
out of
good
character.
items.
I think these could be useful if you guys don't mind, potentially pissing off a spirit, but I personally think it would be worth taking.
Yeah,
I would take no part of it, but
if you I can carry stuff if you want. I got a lot of weight, but if you want to take them for yourself, feel free.
If you think
With
it would be
respect.
worthwhile, then I see no reason why you shouldn't. It's if it aids our journey, all the better for us. The dead don't need it. With the greatest of
With
respect.
respect, Ancient One, we need these, perhaps for the greater good of this country. And she slowly, gingerly goes down, takes them in her hand.
Yeah.
Pulls them up. Puts
Quinn
them
is
away.
definitely not for this. But
But no false bottom. Okay.
No.
Perhaps look around the back of the chamber. It could be some kind of false door. Probably more Amelia's purview, I imagine.
Yeah, if you're doing another check, just roll the check. If you're doing more investigation.
Investigation, you say? I'll have a look. I'll
Yeah,
rush
investigate
around the
round.
rooms, the doors.
Mhm.
Sorry, the walls. Get it right. Investigation.
Taking this fucking
It's
pearl.
there. Not great. 11.
11. You don't find anything else. Like the walls are all pretty sound. The entrances are okay. Yeah, you don't find anything else.
Yeah, seems to be above board.
Your dragon,
Yeah.
it comes over to you and says, be careful of taking items from the dead. Watch out for curses. It gives you that bit of information.
Now you need to repeat that because you're the one voicing him.
Well, you didn't speak up when I was taking the items, then, eh? Well, I just a feeling, Zufira, you know. Well, I did say I said to the spirit that we might need it, and if if they don't like it, they can speak up. Personally,
Oh,
I guess I
blank
can't.
eye sockets from the dead looking up at you. If you still stood over it.
Well, I was going to say that I don't really believe in ghosts and spirits, which is why it took me so long to believe in you. But
You don't feel anything at the moment. Like
At the moment, okay.
that's at the moment.
Mhm.
It's like
Maybe
there's
it's
no power that washes over you or anything like that. You can it will of course take you time to attune to the items, like an hour. But at the moment you can feel a bit of a thrum in both the items because they are like magical pieces.
Investigate them.
listen,
It's
then,
definitely the scene.
I think these items are going to be useful in our journey. We're trying to do good here, okay? Just chilling, man. Ooh.
Definitely when Dende's saying this, like Quinn's like, "Yep, this guy gets it." So definitely this entire scene of like going around the sarcophagus and everything, like Quinn's literally just like outside, just having a cigarette,
What Zafira would
basically
do?
leaning against the wall, like waiting for you guys to finish your grave
I don't know
robbing.
if I
He
can
cares
like
little for gods and things. It's just the tension with Dende.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
Like-
Quinn's definitely like, "Yeah, you're right, Dende." She's like thinking it.
Dende has just got that worried dog look on his face.
Please don't die.
all right.
You die, I die.
Oh.
I guess we should probably look around for this demon.
Thinking the
Yeah.
same thing.
And his fucking pearl.
As soon as you've taken both the items, I'll just put them in your chat
Yeah.
for a quick
Oh,
reference.
cool. I know the Pearl of Power. I
Power.
had both
Yeah.
of these in the last campaign as Vathara. Like,
Okay. Put them there anyway. So
Thank
you got hold of these.
I don't remember you having Pearl of Power.
I don't think you had Pearl Power. You might have had the one thing.
she's probably just going to sell the wand if Quinn doesn't want it.
Pass someone else's curse on.
It's-
Fuck it.
Money that we can use to buy things we
Yeah.
need to save the
Not
world.
your problem, I guess.
Yeah.
You can sell
it's
the orb if you want.
interesting.
Right.
Anyway,
Do we
yeah,
know it's cursed or
Yeah.
anything?
yeah, you can deal with that later, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's explore.
Right. I'm probably going to enter the chamber next to us because I think that's where our quarry might be. So I'll probably say
Yeah,
we should
I'll be
probably try and take
behind.
down this demon or whatever this thing is.
Are you going left, are you?
Yeah.
I will go down because I'll be like, okay, well, let's, if we find anything, speak up.
I think
I'm
the
gonna-
down chamber just takes us back out. But
I'll
it's
just stick my
certainly
head
worth
up.
keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
We don't want this thing slipping by.
Pretty sure that's the stairs where the tiefling went up or demon went up.
I'm pretty
and we
sure,
came
I'm
round
pretty
the
sure I
other
was
way.
stood like over here somewhere.
Yeah, we came
and
around the
then
other
we
way.
saw it go up this way.
I'm pretty sure it's just left, isn't it? Yeah, it's just
Okay.
left that we need to go.
Well, I'll go here
Pretty
and let you
sure.
guys all move. I'll keep
Yeah,
an eye out.
I'm gonna.
It's not like
I
you're not
guess
going
it-
to hear us stuff. If shit
No,
hits the
no,
fan.
no. Like, if you shout, like, I'm gonna hear you.
Yeah, in character, I say. Well, I guess if we're still trying to be stealthy, maybe Amelia and Sophia should take
We
the
just knocked a
lead.
sarcophagus off. I don't think we're going to be stealthy anymore. I think that ship has sailed.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll lead the charge
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
way
wow.
was it? West or south?
to the left.
Left.
No. Okay, we'll
West.
go down there.
I'm going to go here, so I'm not blocking the entrance.
Yeah. So in this cave,
I don't get
this-
sight from Dende, by the way. I don't know if that's a thing you can fix.
no, we
but-
still got it from
Sometimes I
Quinn. I think it lasts an hour, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Well, I
last
mean,
an hour.
Dende
man.
can't see anything at all.
Oh, I'm with
He
you.
doesn't have dark vision.
No, we don't.
I could fix it, but I don't know.
He's got.
Wait, it's
60
it's your sheet as well, isn't it? So
Yeah, it's on the token. Just say it's got no vision or it makes no light.
Got no fans.
That too.
yeah, he does have 60 feet of dark vision, but he can't see right now. The token doesn't have it.
yeah, I'm just figuring out how to do that again.
You can do
Yeah,
it
be the
later.
little cog. Yeah, it'd be like the light.
Bright light, low
Sometimes
light.
I lose him. I lose the token, and then I'm like, oh shit, I got to drag through the darkness.
No, it's not that.
Put my low light vision.
Not
Yeah.
that. I'll
It'd
figure
be
it out
like-
later.
Yeah, has vision.
Token vision on.
They set the distance.
Total light amount of light emitting form type. No. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a setting light thing coming up. I'll do it a bit later. I'll move it. If you get way ahead of it, I'll just move it to you.
Yeah.
So in this
We
room,
always bandbox
this
over
is-
the darkness, but it's
Yeah.
annoying.
this is
Yeah.
where the bear would normally sleep. You kind of gather. There's a bit of refuge in the corner. But in here, the frozen stream ends at a 7-foot deep frozen pool at the back of the dark, back of the dark cave.
There.
You can see that trapped beneath the pool's ice is a stone statue of a smiling young man, naked except for a well-placed oak leaf with his face turned towards the sky.
Meat and two veg.
Yeah.
Up at the sky, you say?
Yeah, I mean, he's like looking upwards.
Can I look at what he's looking at?
Sure. You see the ceiling.
Okay. Cool.
Ooh, plot twist.
And this here, this is like a. What is
Yeah,
this?
it's the emergence of like an underground spring, basically.
Right.
It's just where the water comes out the hills.
Okay. Before we head downwards, I'm gonna probably move over here because I can see there's like a little bit more to that. I want to see if there's a dead end. Or
Yeah,
not.
there is a bit more. So this is where. So in that corner to the left,
I'll move a second.
that is where the bear sleeps, and there's
Oh, okay.
a gnawed on skull
Yeah.
and bones, of a humanoid figure. That is there. So it's something smaller humanoid figure.
Hmm.
You can see that it's pretty stocky. Like the bones are pretty.
Ooh. Have a look. See.
They're like well built, maybe. Could do. Give me an
do a
investigation check if you're going to study them.
Yeah, well, look at this.
I'll help. I'll give you advantage.
Your investigation might be better than mine.
Probably.
But it's just a 0.
I'll have a look as well then.
It's the same with the statue. If you want to give me a religion check,
wow.
you might be able to gain something.
I've yet to roll the ones. I can't re-roll.
Yeah,
Religion check. Hope I can do better at that.
Oh, I
Though.
can't do religion.
that's
unfortunately.
if you were going to investigate the statue.
Oh, under the water one.
Yeah.
I'll give it a
Um,
go. Why not? I didn't think it was a religious thing. I thought it's just a art
For
thing.
you, Amelia, it's more or less you figure out it's probably one of the shorter races, like a dwarf, a gnome, something like that.
Mhm.
For you, you scored
Trust
pretty
the
well looking
religion.
down at this statue. It is a statue
Takes a ghost
of Sylvanas.
Oh, that's probably why I recognise it then.
Yeah,
Pretty closely related to my deity.
you can see it in the chat there.
Yeah, probably say to everyone, like, oh, it's a statue of Sylvanas, the wild nature
Okay.
deity.
I feel like as a ranger, although she's not exactly a worshipper, Zufir would probably be aware of this one too.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, the god of nature. The oak leaf is the holy symbol.
Hmm.
And you can see that this is carved very elegantly from the rocky stone bottom. Like there's a group of boulders in there that then has the statue on top and carved into the boulders.
Interesting. Boy says aloud, like, I wonder why this is here.
Perhaps this
Uh,
was
who-
once a temple.
Can I ask who is most attuned to magic?
What kind
None
of
of you
magic?
really-
Who's a
Okay.
cleric?
We can all do spells, can't
Yeah,
we?
that is true. Actually,
I
Like
can.
me.
I like wizardy
Religious.
spells,
Yeah, religiously stuff be me, wizard,
me, and I don't know what
And
your
nature
ranger
for me.
spells,
Yeah.
druidy, I guess.
Yeah.
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 Well,
I'm not in the. I'm not in that room though.
You're
currently.
not in that room, are you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Call
you don't.
Cassius over.
You can call me over. I'm in earshot.
For
But-
for those of you that spend like looking at the statue properly and figuring out what it is.
I'll be buying my check, I guess. I've got to look at it for a
Yeah,
little
you
while.
can definitely feel a radiance of some sort of energy coming off of it.
Ah. Hold up my
Is it
holy
nature-y?
symbol, I guess.
You would have to use like detect magic, for instance,
You know what I'm gonna do?
or an identify spell.
I'm gonna eat it.
Then
Yeah,
Dereliah is
Don't
gonna
have an option of that.
I don't exactly have detect magic as such, but then Dereliah is gonna say, "Oh, you know, Zafira, there is that other trick I've been telling you to try. What? The awareness type thing? I guess now would be a good time to try it out. And I'm going to use Primeval Awareness, which I will post it in chat.
Oh yeah, well,
But for 1 minute, I can sense whether the following types of creatures are present within 1 mile of me, or 6 miles within my favorite terrain. Kind of arguable if this is or not. But aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
okay.
Doesn't tell me exactly where they are. It just tells me if they are within a
Yeah.
mile or 6 miles.
I've used this as a ranger
the-
before.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the paladin one as well. Just
Yeah.
detect evil.
Detect evil.
Yeah. Or detect
You
good.
are evil.
What were
Which
they?
is outrageous.
So aberrations, no. Celestials, no. Elementals, no. Fae, fiends, no, and no. Definitely not undead. But you catch a glimpse in your mind's eye of a dragon flying overhead, and before you can look at it properly, I guess it is gone.
We're in a cave. We wouldn't be able to see
What?
it.
Dragon ahead? Damn.
How far is it? Within 6 miles. Yeah.
Within favored terrain at 6 miles. I don't know if you would count this.
Oh, just count it because you're in tundra wilderness anyway,
Sure.
and there's frozen stuff around you. So, yeah, just a glimpse of a dragon
flying
going overhead.
But no demons or anything like you mentioned, Dende. But a dragon here?
Ah.
Ooh.
the plot thickens.
Rose Road Dar.
Nothing to do with the statue, though, I'm afraid.
Interesting.
Little shaken by that.
I haven't done
There
that
is.
yet. I can do that.
What's Cassius up to?
I was going down here and just kind of like looking around this area. This is like tombs and stuff, or whatever's in here. Just trying to see if there is, you know, this demon. I got no. I haven't seen it, so I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for a horned thing. But I'm currently not seeing anything, so I guess just after a while, he's going to probably walk to you guys.
Yeah, it kind of
Didn't
like hooks
sense
around
any-
to areas you've been already.
Yeah.
Also, with
Hmm.
the ice, with the pool, you can see that it's about a foot deep of ice before you would hit water.
Hmm.
This
Didn't
is really
sense any
water.
fiends within the vicinity, not within several miles. So perhaps what we saw was not a demon. I
It's
can't
very
say.
possible. It
curious.
was
Gone.
hard to see. I only caught a glimpse, but it certainly had a flash of red and also had horns. So, as I say,
Have I-
perhaps you're perhaps a tiefling.
Yeah.
That wouldn't
Tiefling
necessarily
seems-
be considered a well. Not that I would know, but I don't think they're considered fiends.
Would
Although,
Zufira have heard tales of dragons shape-shifting into humanoid forms before? Don't want a meta game.
I don't know.
History?
If I flip a coin, which I don't have on me.
I mean, dragons are her favorite enemy.
Yeah, true. Sure. If they're the favored enemy, therefore you've studied them,
Yeah,
at least
yeah.
something. You've probably heard of rumors of dragons shifting. Yeah, definitely. That's like an ancient thing they could do. You might have even come across tales of there being one in Waterdeep or something like that.
This is a long shot. I've heard tales of dragons shifting into humanoid forms. Maybe what we saw was a dragon. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
it's, to be
Just
so
sort of
far
raises an
away so
eyebrow.
quickly is, I don't know. It seems like a long shot. In any case, I think we
I-
should delve further into the cave and see what else is here.
Cassius
Before we
is
jump to
probably like
conclusions, and I kind of move down a bit more.
Makes
he
sense.
comes walking back over. He's like, I've seen nothing or heard nothing from the other direction. Whatever may have been here may no longer be within these walls.
Perhaps it's further away.
Possible.
We'll just explore and see what we see.
We had nothing to lose.
Indeed.
You go in this area.
Going to follow the stream, I think. Perhaps someone should stay here just to make sure there's nothing.
I'll wait here.
Yes,
It's all good. I will wait and keep an eye.
Yeah, there's
my ears
nothing.
up.
Oh, this is
much-
back where we started.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, okay.
It's just a frozen
I don't know
stream,
if there's
goes
anywhere
through
we've not
narrow
been.
tunnels.
And there's literally nothing here.
Yep.
Wow. This is most concerning. I'll do like one more loop.
Ask the Verbig if he knows of any secret passages.
Yeah, he hasn't been here. He said he couldn't get through. Just
Into
concerning.
that room.
Yeah. I do one more lap around, just make sure I'm checking every like
Having a look.
corner and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Presumably
up
coming
at
to the
point.
same conclusion.
Pretty much the bear's there. The bear would still like, be defensive towards you, but it stays in the same. It
Yeah.
likes the campfire, stays in warmth. Looks hungrily at the sheep probably, and then you'll see the Verbeeg come down and
Yeah.
like control the bear to back the bear away, get away from the sheep.
Bring it on, bear.
Yeah. I'll
Goats,
probably,
sheep.
after doing like one or two laps around, I'll probably be like, come back to the Verbeeg and say, oh, what was his name again? It would start with a G.
Dog.
Rock?
Garg, that's it.
Yeah.
Garg, we've been through this area extensively, and as far as I can see, whatever was once haunting these walls are clearly no longer here. I believe your pest problem has gone, or your demon problem has gone. Be on the lookout though. This thing may one day return.
Okay, I will do. I'll make sure I just do something about this place. Sure. He does look like worried about it.
Yeah.
Probably still sad that we killed his friend.
Oh
it's
yeah, like he's like trying to figure out what to do
Yeah.
with.
I still
this
don't
friend.
care about this guy.
Yeah.
Really don't care about this guy. This guy, like,
Is there
every time I kind of just been waiting to go. It's
yeah.
like,
Is there
this
like
guy
a
done.
working cart or anything here? Or is it all like damaged beyond repair type of thing? Or is this something like a little bit of time and effort could fix?
It was
Um,
in a cart, wasn't it? When
I was
the
thinking,
shipment got attacked by them, didn't it?
but don't we
Just
need a
wondering if
cart
there's
to take
still
the dead
a
bodies?
cart.
Dead bodies. back to the
I
town?
would say there is this cart here.
Okay.
That if you could fix its wheel, then you'll get that going. You'll need to figure out a way how to move these casks back to the town.
That's my thought process.
Hmm.
So I would
Okay.
suggest to Quinn, I'm like, Quinn, we need to find a way to transport these casks back to your town of Goodmead. I believe this cart was what they was once you transported. Perhaps we could work together and find a way to fix this with the Verbeek's help.
Hmm.
I'm guessing he could like lift it up and like whilst we put a wheel into place, that type of thing.
Yeah, I am all for this. Yes, I
I
feel the cart is the best way for us to return with the goods.
we should use the sheep as horses, makeshift horses. I
Use
guess
the goats, you back Thor.
yeah.
Mr. Verbeek, don't know if you know, there's a statue of a goddess down in the river over there. You wouldn't happen to know how that got in there, did you?
He thinks for a minute and then shakes his head and goes, "No, it's that thing has been down there since I've been living here. I have no idea how that got there."
Probably while they're trying to fix this cart, I'll probably say to Quinn, I'm like, is it something we need to do? Do we need to the bodies that we saw earlier? Do we need to put them on this cart and take them back to town? I don't know what the customs are for this area.
Taking the bodies back for burial would be the right thing to do, but we can always send a party up from Goodmead. Don't know, because there's quite a few bodies, wasn't there?
It was the
remember
town's
rightly?
guard, wasn't it? That's what I was thinking of that got
Yeah,
attacked.
Yeah,
so-
it's like a group of them, 5, I
Like-
think.
yeah. I think it's probably more than we can realistically sort out.
yeah,
at
I
the
think
moment.
I guess Cass is to be like, well, if you feel a party from the town is good enough, I'm obviously just worried at the moment that we can handle ourselves if trouble arises. But if we have no room for them, then we should definitely let somebody know.
What time of day is it?
Oh, it's in the evening, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite late now, I'd have thought.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's getting on.
So I'm thinking, yeah.
Probably just
Thinking.
get back into the.
I
How
feel
long
like
did it take us to get here? Did it take us a few hours?
Got
It
directed
wasn't
by
the
the
whole day. I
Chilwa-
believe you
Chilwa.
rested, and I think you rested and then went out in the
We
morning.
left about lunchtime,
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah.
Yeah, we left around 1:30, it says in my notes.
Yeah.
that's it. So yeah, it'd be getting towards evening.
Yeah. I feel we
How
should.
long would it take us to get back? Like by midnight?
Couple of hours.
Navigating in the dark is, well, it's dark anyway, I suppose.
Yeah,
Cold.
I'd say a couple of hours at least.
Maybe worth resting here for a spell.
That's
Reach the wagon and be on our way in the morning.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay, yeah. It
Probably
seems
ask the Verbeeg if he'd be willing to share the campfire for a night.
pains me to say it, but it would be safer to stay here to risk walking back in the night.
Plus, if this demon should turn up, at least we'll be here to protect Garg and the bear.
There's silence from Quinn.
Cassius gives the
It's
thumbs up.
like,
Yeah.
oh no, what a
Like
shame.
we're just pushing his buttons a little bit.
Oh no. The criminal.
Protect what you say, protect.
Fear is looking at the pearl.
My precious. You're gonna go to the
My
sides of
precious.
He's gonna get madder as this campaign goes along.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do? Do you want to stay here, or do you
I
want
guess
to
we'd
head out?
ask
think it's a
permission to
sensible-
stay
Yeah,
here.
we
Yeah.
should
if
ask.
Garg would
We
let
should
us.
ask.
I was gonna say. So what do you say to him then? You just ask him if he can stay around the
Definitely
campfire.
Yeah,
not me
I'd
doing
say-
the questioning.
My friend Garg, we are quite spent after the day, and
After killing your friend, we are quite tired.
no, I do not say that, Quinn.
You're like,
Interesting route,
My
but
arm
no.
is aching so much.
Yeah, my sword arm is killing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll be like,
there's
"No,
blood all over it.
Garg, we find ourselves quite exhausted from the day, and I know we should be long gone by now, but you see, we need to fix this wagon in order to transport the goods and the livestock, or at least some of it, back to town. Could I trouble you to ask for your company and to share the fire for one night, and we shall be on our way in the morning, and make good on our deal. Plus, are the advantages should this demon or whatever this thing is return? At least we'll be here to help and protect you, the bear. What say you?
he scratches his head and then goes, you can't really stay here. I've got somebody. How can I put it? There's another one of my kind coming, and she'll be here soon. At this point, so I'd
Oh,
rather you all. Yes,
We just,
I'd rather you
we
all
just kill them as well.
carry
What's the
on. To
problem?
be honest, I'd rather you all not be here when she arrives.
Okay, I guess we better get mending this wagon. Perhaps you can
Uh,
assist.
Yeah, okay, I'll help. If you all hold it up, I will just I don't know, force the wheel on so that it stays.
Sure. Let's
What
do
we do,
that.
that's what he'll be doing later with his lady friend.
So-
Jesus.
For those of you that help
Oh,
out,
this one, the broken
you
axle.
all brace, get in your stance, and then all of you lift the wagon up. You
Oh,
pick
yeah.
the wheel up, and he just literally jams it onto the whatever that is, and he twists it in, and then it is fixed as best as possible.
Yeah.
And then
I
you
like
all
how the
step
wagon
back down.
wheel is probably
and-
taller than me.
Yeah, there's a bit of creaking. Is it going to hold? Isn't it? Isn't it? And then it settles, and you're okay.
Okay.
Cassius,
I asked him to help load up the wagon with the caskets.
How many
Except for
was
the
it?
one that we, all but one that we
Yeah,
decided we
that's
agreed
good.
you could
Dealers.
have, and then we also, I guess, take 5 livestock with us.
Yeah, we can just tie them to the wagon. Got rope, haven't we?
Just heard them, yeah.
Yeah.
Just have one person march them.
Cassius
You're
does make a
right.
Quinn
joke.
probably would be, or yeah, maybe, yeah. I'll let. It's not me.
If she's-
Not an animal
I
handler.
think she would get a. I don't. Greg doesn't know how you would herd a bunch of sheep, but Zufira has proficiency.
Kumbai,
in animal
Kumbai.
handling. I think she would probably know.
You've got
Jokes
them.
in the
They're
pen.
alive.
Kumba, kumba,
Yeah,
kumba.
yeah.
They're alive.
Sheep
Use them like a
dragon.
dog. It's fine.
Get,
I can
you
imagine
Right then,
you
they're alive.
stick-
You want to help me here?
You'll be able to find rope here. You could tie the livestock to the back of the
Yeah, that's probably what I do. I mean, I've
the
got
thing.
rope.
You
So
know,
Yeah,
makes
we've
sense.
all got rope. I got 20.
I will
foot
go
rope,
over and
whatever it
pet
is.
the sheep.
you'll pet the
calm
sheep.
You'll
them
run
down.
off.
No, to calm them down.
First of all,
Because
give me a
Ende's
animal.
doing the same thing. He's kind of rounding the sheep. He's like, "Oh, okay,
What?
now let's go now."
Well, Dende's a dragon, so the sheep are scared of the dragon.
He's a small dragon.
But
He's a very small dragon.
So more like the goats aren't scared, the sheep are skittish.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
give me an animal handling check to see how well
Hang
you
on.
get on with
Yeah, hang on.
What
He's
could
a very
possibly go
gentle
wrong?
dragon. I'm gonna give the animal handling check.
20.
Wow.
this?
Is that-
Okay, you're fine.
Now
I
you're
calm the
born
sheep. How's it
Cassius
go?
over
Is
here.
that-
Yeah,
Hmm.
Cassius is
do I make one as well, or
You can do, yeah. He's handling sheep. He's
pretty
handling
shit.
half the goats, and then
A
you're
plus
handling
4,
the
you got
other.
a 9.
So
So unlucky.
essentially,
That way.
like
He's got a +2, and I get
So
a fucking...
unlucky.
I'm like
Right.
I'm like shh, calm
But
now, and
for
I like
you,
just gently petting the
One of
sheep.
the sheeps gets really scared, and it me make a test. Actually, I'm just
It
gonna.
shits itself.
Yeah, no. Where's my dice? There it is.
The coldest part I could think of is just break the sheep's legs, put them in the back of the thing, and then when we get to town, just cure wounds on them.
Okay. Well, it manages to, as you're tying the rope onto the back of the collar, it bolts a bit too much, and the rope just like untwines out of your fingers, and it starts to run away. Essentially, unless you go after the sheep, you've lost one sheep out of this trade.
She's
I'll-
running after you. She's sending the
Yeah,
sheepdog
I'll
around.
go
He's got
after it
40
as
feet
well.
of movement. Dende,
All right.
he's got 40 feet of movement, so he's going around to herd it back.
Yeah, you'll be able to catch up with it. You'll be
Me
able to
too.
get it.
I'm just keeping the rest of the sheep calm. I'm just like no,
Yeah.
no.
The sheep has probably realized that, it's freezing out there compared to in here. So it will get slower and slower. You'll be able to get it back. No problem. And then
Then
you
they grab-
lash it up to the cart. And now you've got 5 sheep attached to the cart.
I think Cassius would probably make a joke about like, why don't we just drink some of the mead and it'll be a lighter cart, just like off cuff remarks.
How dare you?
Yeah, and it gets a glare.
Was it 5?
Yeah.
All right, 5
That was the
sheep
deal.
on a cart and 2 kegs.
This is promise to the other town.
All right. So now he's
Fuck yeah,
like the Verbeeg is like, well, you best be heading off now.
Very well.
I go over and pet the bear.
I
And then
think
I
you're
leave.
heading out.
You're petting the bear, are you?
I'll lead this ragtag band out of the caves.
Alright.
I guess I looked to someone else, like, he wants to push the cart with me.
I'll push it with you. Cassius gets to the back and
Like,
he's like,
who's the strongest out of us?
probably
Dende
you
will
and
help.
me. Yeah. We'll go around the back and we'll push and
Dende's strong as fuck.
the sheep and all that.
Yeah,
are
'cause we haven't
attached.
found any horses, have we? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Who's-
you haven't got any
hang on,
horses
just
or anything, it's
donkeys or
literally
anything.
pushing
Do we
and
need 2
pulling.
people at the front lifting up the things?
Yeah.
Either or, I guess, yeah.
Okay, so
Me and you.
is that going to work though? Because I'm much taller, so maybe you want the 2 shorter people at the front.
Maybe Amelia.
Oh,
Amelia's
either me and
human,
Amelia-
so she's going to be a bit taller than.
Well, either me and Amelia at the front and you 2 at the back, or you 2 at the front and me and Amelia at the front. Back. Yeah.
I'd
I could help.
say strength is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
my strong suit, so probably
Yeah,
better.
all right.
And Saphira's probably going to be the one leading the group back from a,
Me and Sufira at the front then, and you 2 at the back pushing.
Just
Sure.
tie a bit of rope
I
to
need
it
the
and just
track.
pull it.
You guys can pull behind me.
I'll go to the front and pull it. See how we get on.
Yeah, just tie a bit of rope.
Well, it's more the fact that the 2 wooden bits are going to be sticking down unless they get lifted up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
tie a bit of rope to it. I'll just go further ahead. That's how leverage works.
Tie some rope to Dende. He'll help pull.
Yeah.
He's a strong pack dragon.
Yeah, mush.
So first of
If
all,
you say yeah to me, I'm an ancient being much older than you. Okay, I'm here to help the group, but if you say yeah to me, I'm going to bite you. Okay, I'm warning you.
Hey, yeah.
first of all, as you're navigating, give me a track roll. It'll be a survival
Is
roll
anyone helping me?
to navigate.
I can
help
help.
you, but I'm not.
I'm too busy
Yeah.
concentrating on pulling this fucking cart.
I will help
I am-
you.
It
double
is
perception
dark
thing.
out there. You're not getting much
so
moonlight. It's
funny.
pretty cloudy this time around.
It's a 17 with my double proficiency.
Yeah, you're fine. You managed to work your way back to. Do you go directly back to where you found the 5 guard, or do you feel like you go more in a beeline?
I don't know about the group, but I think we would be beelining back, and then we'd tell them about the guard, right?
Yeah, I'm all for. Yeah, I think I said
Thing
like, yeah.
We should rob the
I'd
guard.
rather we get back safe.
already
and just
took the
have more
rations.
bodies out of here.
Yeah,
Get the
okay.
clothes and their
Makes
items.
sense.
Well, triangulating from where the guard would be to where the town would be, you can get more of a beeline.
Okay.
It
What we
is.
do?
The evening has gotten on now. As you're outside and getting your bearings, and this is you can still see the cave behind you, the set of caves, but they're more like quite far over there at this point. You can hear something heavy footfalls trudging through the snow in your direction.
Well, it's clearly his friend, isn't it?
Is it
Oh
the
no.
Verbeeg lady?
And through the pine trees, you do see a Verbeeg emerge, like pushing away a branch.
Pulling out my axe.
No.
So she has literally the same picture. Where is it?
You guys won't be able to see it. I'll see it before you guys.
Yeah. So
300 feet of vision.
she's walking along. She has a big shield on her back. She's got a big staff.
Oh, she's Garg.
Yeah,
Oh.
she.
Duke is the one in the cave. Garg, we haven't met Garg.
No.
Oh, is that it? Oh.
Garg the Verbeeg has a basket goose for her beloved.
Doug.
Yeah. So you can see there is a basket with stuff in it. And she is walking. She's walking directly at you guys. Do you guys hide or do you let her see you?
Why we got up to the fear?
Yeah, I'd see it first. I'm not to hide. She
Okay.
wants to start something, she can start something. I'm not.
She gets up to you guys and then she halts. And she. How can I bet? She seems startled to see your group standing there with the goats with the cart. And she calls out to. She says, "Doug, is why are you all here? What's going on? What have you done something?"
I go up to the Verbeeg and say, my friend, there is no need to worry. We have just come from would he have said his name is Duke or Doug?
Yeah, I've seen that.
She is saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
Duke.
we would have said, yeah, we've
Yolanda.
just come from Doug and have made a deal with him. He is all safe and well. You have nothing to fear. He is expecting you. He wanted us gone before you arrived, and so we have done just that.
Her expression like lessens, and she says, "Okay, okay. As long as everything's okay, I'll just carry on.
I still want to say something.
Don't come back. Could you all
I
give me
stand-
perception checks,
I
please?"
should probably stand in front of
Perception,
Quinn.
Did I
Yeah.
say something?
Perception.
My
You guys
friend's
were
a
standing
fucking
looking at
murderer.
her.
9.
What are we doing? It's reception.
Just straight perception, yeah?
Yeah.
15 for Nemelia.
16.
12.
Cool. Emilio and Quinn, you see in the basket a black obsidian rock poking out.
Oh no.
I fucking knew it.
Kind of like what you see there in the picture, but like just a single piece of it in amongst all the other like random assortments of things. And she goes okay, and she starts to like move
Hey.
past you all.
Say, that's an interesting rock you got in your basket.
She like stops for a second and goes, "Oh, this? I found it earlier. Seems quite nice." And then she
Be
keeps walking.
Be
It's
careful
not-
with
no,
that
no,
obsidian.
Godlin.
We have come across.
Chardlin.
Chardlin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chardlin.
we have come across it before,
Chardlin.
and it did not end well. My advice would be to let that one go. honestly, we're just looking out for your own interest here. It's
Say,
Thank you. I'll put it aside, I guess. If
Sure.
we've got no use for it, I'll just put it aside.
sure.
Does
Is-
she actually drop it?
No, just leaves it in there,
I say,
like carrying them.
I definitely say, Joe, fuck this. Queensland now. Definitely say, so you conspire with murderers and thieves. We killed your boyfriend's
Friend.
friend, yeah, wherever he was,
There you go.
for his murder and treachery. Now you carry the rock of the Frostmaiden. You are a member of this cult. Just spear, just like fuck these people.
All right.
Like fuck you.
She,
Oh,
you can see her hand, like grip around the spear, and definitely the other hand also does that around the basket. And she levels her spear at you, and goes, "You, you best do well to hold your tongue and not get involved with anything that we do. You've obviously got it wrong. Now be gone before I make you gone." And then she puts the spear back up and turns to start walking
Nah,
back
nah,
into
nah,
the
nah,
cave.
nah. She's not gonna get a chance to leave.
well, I would probably stop you if I saw you trying to make a move.
I say, I
To
am
be
an
fair.
emissary of Shantae, greater deity. I spit at you. I spit at your frost maiden. I am everything within my power. Oh, I'll do everything within my power to end your cult and to bring back the climate and the agriculture to this north. If I have to kill you and many others, I will do so.
Uh, she replies to that over her shoulder as she's walking, striding away. It's like, "You've gotten yourself wrong. I have no idea what you're talking about." And then she heads towards the cave for definite.
How high a strength would I have to roll to knock him out? Knock Quinn out, that is. So I'm like, at this point, I'm like, oh, this is gonna get us killed. Like, if I wanted to just be
It's
like,
more
shut up.
like if you're
It's
knocking him
one
out over
verb.
the head.
I mean, you can
um,
try. I'm going to oppose.
It's like,
I'm not going to let
make
you just try and
not.
knock me
It's not
out.
really strength rolls. It's like see if you can land a blow well enough to knock
Yeah,
his life
okay.
out. You know,
Living the meme.
Unless if Quinn goes after this Babig, what I'll probably try and do is use the whip to like grab her, like basically wrap around her and just stop her from like running away.
Quinn would be very confused. Like, I
She's
don't
mouthing off.
understand what your morality is. I find it very strange.
yeah.
I'm not
So
going
do
after
you
her.
let her walk into the cave?
Not, yeah. I don't,
Okay, that's
I'm
fine.
not
I won't do
stopping.
anything. I won't do anything.
I know this party's got a weird obsession with like helping evil people. I don't understand.
No,
Like,
we
if you're
don't have all
saying
the
nothing-
information.
if you're
Quinn
saying
knows
nothing-
that you guys have a weird morality system. Like,
We
I'm
don't
not
have all the
starting
information. Like, she's got a basket of stuff in it that she may have just found. Right? We don't know. We could straight up
She
be
literally
accused.
just said, "Don't you try and stop us."
Yeah, but like, I wasn't going to attack her
It's
anyway.
like-
You literally started spouting fucking abuse at her, and we're like,
So
Cassius is very confused. He's like, why are you getting like shitty with this Verbig? This Verbig, we have no issue with this Verbig. It's like we sometimes have these stones that we know very little about that they could have found, you know. So it's
I
like,
mean, all this is in your head, so
yeah. That's what I mean. Like
nothing knows actually
Cassius is
happens.
like very confused at this situation.
Just carry on.
So
going back
like,
to
he's not going
town.
to say anything, but like, if you were to go after this Verbig, he'd probably be like, you know.
Yeah. Carry on back to town, but I'm very confused and baffled. You have these stones that are like causing people to like die in the wilderness to like protect them. This is like, nope, perfectly normal. I don't see anything wrong
Well,
with this.
he doesn't know that.
Still very strange. You saw the guy we took prisoner.
Yeah,
The
he
guy
had
was like
a reaction
literally
to
going
it,
to kill
But
himself.
I don't know anything. Cassius knows fuck all about these stones.
So weird. We know
From
they're part of
Zafira's
the Frost
perspective, she knows
Maiden's
it's fucked up.
rituals.
But she's also like, it seems like Garg doesn't know what the stone is, and it seems like we don't have all the information.
That's
That's
what I
all,
mean.
like,
It's like I'm
just
confused as
what-
to why we're getting aggy at this big because Cassius doesn't know that.
Because
She
you asked,
understands Quinn's anger.
you asked her to get rid of it, and then she just carried on keeping it. I'm like,
Yeah, but
you
like
guys.
we've only right. So from Cassius's point of view, the only time he's seen somebody react to it was that crazy guy, and that's all he's seen. That's all he knows is that there's something weird with it. Well, I have no idea. He has no idea if it's going to affect this person. He doesn't know if it's going to make them evil or not. It's just the case of well, she's got some. That's like how he sees it. It's like, well, I don't have the full information of what this thing
No.
is yet.
I can't wait till Cassius gets to a town where there's like human sacrifice and stuff. It's gonna be so funny. He's like, this is what I'm trying to stop. But yeah, we're just carrying on to town, I guess, because this is all in Cassius's
Yeah,
head.
like he's just
Since
confused. He's just
none-
like,
none of
why?
this- none of this has been addressed by our actual characters.
No.
So, yeah, I guess we just
Yeah.
carry
Yeah,
on.
it's-
Yeah.
he doesn't say anything. He's just listening.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they can just sense the tension, and it's kind of like looks a little bit sad as they're walking back, and everyone's very quiet.
I guess if I don't know, depending on where he is, I'll just pet him.
So you start walking back, and all those thoughts are running through your heads.
Mm.
And it's getting late. It takes you many hours because it's a hell of a long process to try and get the cart through woodland. Basically, you start hitting divots.
Snow,
You have to
yeah.
move branches. Things get in the way. The sheep get riled up every now and again.
Meh.
It is into the night essentially. And what I want to know is, do you push through and get there at night, like probably midnight or so?
Rather get
Yeah,
there
'cause we can sleep.
late
Okay.
than risk sleeping
Yeah.
in the wilderness. Yeah.
I'm the
Um,
same.
there
Oh,
is-
it's cold out here.
there is one thing that happens that you. I'll say there's two things that happen.
Ooh.
One is you hear growls off in the distance. These are natural wolves in the woods. You're towing sheep.
Hmm.
So there's one moment where you see like a flash of something flash in between the trees. You light a torch, like another one, or throw it in that direction, maybe to create some kind of like light source, and then it is gone. The wolves have gauged that they would be outnumbered. You're
Bring it
too
on,
much of a
wolves.
too much
Bring
of
it
a
on.
force.
Yeah,
we have two of
our party
And then
raring to kill something.
the
Oh,
second thing
yeah.
that happens after another several hours is who's in front? No, actually, let's say who's in the back.
Probably
One of those
Amelia.
Amelia, you're sitting there. You're in the back. If you're, you might be on the cart for half an hour, just like resting your legs as you look out across the back to make sure nothing is coming up. And oddly, there is a light source. There is a beam of light, very much like one of these high-powered torch lights. Like you get a high-powered torch, those massive things, shine it up in the sky, and it's like a giant like laser beam goes up in the sky.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can shine it onto the clouds. It's that powerful. And it's just like a flash of that. And you don't really know if your eyes are deceiving you because you're getting tired, and then it's gone. So it's a very weird thing you've just seen.
I say, hold the card a moment.
I'll put it down.
Yeah.
I could just be my eyes, but I saw something like a light, a flash. Would you mind staying here a moment? I wouldn't mind going and checking it out. Perhaps Saphira you'd like to come with.
That seems unwise.
Hmm. That sounds
How close are we
concerning.
to town now?
Another hour.
Mm.
2 hours.
Hmm.
It's like midnight now, 1 a.m, kind of thing, or
It's like, yeah, it's getting there
Did I
now.
know? So remember when we talked about like what we know from being in Icewind Dale for a long time? Do I know that like the Frostmaiden appears, or like people think they see her in the nighttime. I think I remember us talking about this, but I don't know if I'd know it.
You'll know of well, obviously the Frostmaiden's out there.
Yeah.
It's a rare thing it's a deity. Deities tend not to reveal themselves to mortals unless prayers are being answered and those kind of things. But even that's in visions and stuff.
Yeah.
This is more on the case of you've heard rumors of lights out in the wilderness. They're very ominous, but they are pretty much beams of pure white light that just seem to go and go and go until eventually they're out of sight. But it's like a cone that just moves along
Yeah.
at like a pace
Aliens.
and then vanishes. Some people have claimed to see this like way off in the wilderness. There have been one or two times when like a town's guard on the city walls has like pointed off to something like on the edge of woods and then it's gone. Things like that.
So let me get this straight. You see a scary light out in the middle of the night in the darkness. We are an hour away from town, and you want to follow it.
It's just curious.
Don't think it's wise. I've heard stories that the light brings ill omen. It's not something to pursue.
Let's keep moving now.
I
think we
agree.
should keep moving now.
Very well.
Picks up the thing again.
Yeah.
Starts walking.
Yeah,
Sophia is spooked at this point.
I look over my shoulder every now and then while we're pulling it just to see if
Yeah.
it's like
You just-
getting closer.
I'm
or something.
intensely
on the
looking now,
face.
just like looking behind
Yeah.
us, just making sure
It
there's
is.
nothing coming, and I'm like,
It is that kind of thing. Yeah,
I'm probably a bit
very
freaked out
rarely,
at the whole
very
situation.
like
Like,
spine chilly sort of
Cassius is
situation.
just
that's
whistling
two
the
lights now
X-File
that have
theme.
fucked me over. I've seen like out the corner of my eye. I'm like, there's something going on here.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is
So-
not cool.
Yes,
You-
literally deities destroying the weather.
So you continue pushing, you continue pulling.
Yeah,
And
to
you
get
you
to
come
town.
off, you break out of the woods, and you come off the incline of the hill essentially, and you can see the town there sprawled out in front of you. You can see that there's smoke coming from chimneys because you're on a slope. You can make out the town hall easy enough. There's lanterns swaying in the breeze for where the townspeople have just like lit up the main roads and like the main inn, for instance, and things like that.
Is it
I'm
yeah.
guessing,
Is there
you're
likely
going to
to
head
be-
straight to
Yeah.
town
In
hall.
fact,
Yeah, we drag it to the tavern,
Yeah.
Good Mead Brewery, wherever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's about midnight sort of time.
Millie is starting to fall asleep on the cart.
Yeah.
It'll be like 2 in the morning now, right? Because that was like
Knackers.
an hour ago we saw this thing.
Yeah, roundabout. It's those sort of like in between midnight and 2 o'clock, let's say. So it's like people will be asleep. You'll probably have to wake up, your friend. Where's my notes?
There likely to be bandits out and about.
Grant Holmes.
There it is. Yeah, Grant Holmes and his half orc assistant Night
Yeah,
Stout.
nice stout.
Oh, Night Stout. Called him Night Stand in my notes.
No,
Oh,
Stout.
just a beer name. Your name's beer.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I think I misheard when Phil. I just didn't ask him to repeat it last
it's
time.
all right.
Night
You,
Stout.
you don't know beers anyway.
Nope. I like fucking nothing.
Fruit shoot.
J2O for you.
J2. I like
Cassius
J2.
would like a nice berry wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's grown up in the woods. Why not?
Elf
Um,
wine, I don't know.
Blackberry,
Let him have a sip of wine.
So yeah,
Like,
people are asleep.
blueberry.
I think Night Stout might well be up.
Hello, Poppet.
You've probably known him to tend the central fire and just make sure embers are still warm. There's still enough warmth
Yeah.
They probably take it in turns, or there's a group of people that just like
Well,
community helps out.
Yeah, it's like
before we get
Grant
to town,
nights out on me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think Zufira will look at Dende and be like, "What? Perhaps we should let you go back for a while before we go into town, or do you feel safe?"
Who said he's a cat?
Looks at Quinn. What do you think about these people in this town? Should I vanish for a while?
I trust them. I've lived here many years. I can't
Will I be
see
safe with
why.
you?
Yes, I think you'll be fine. I'd stake my honor on this town for being made of fine fellows.
Very well, I will trust you then. And that would be before they got into town, but
Yeah,
carry
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
Transfer you over to the town map as well.
Yeah. So I guess we drag
Where's
it.
it gone?
Cause it's not that big a place. I don't know if we'd have like a night watch or anything.
No, you can have a look there again.
It's only like
I think there might be a
20 or
night
so.
watch, but like, 2 people walking around.
Yeah, like someone lighting torches or something.
Yeah, just checking on the boundaries,
Yeah. So I just drag it to the mead hall, and, like
Sure.
hitch up. There must be like a loading area where we load wagons up,
Yeah, there is
take
now.
to the other towns. So yeah, you'd like hitch it there. Finally, like take the rope off and just be like, "Oh, thank God for that!" Like stretch out, and then I guess I invite everyone in to rest in the mead hall.
I'm attending to the sheep, so we got somewhere for them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it could be like a makeshift paddock or something, or take him in with us. And
Yeah, I mean,
leave
we're taking
in
them
the
inside. We
corner,
will.
just
Yeah,
as
you
like
can take
a
the sheep in there if you
temporary
need to.
thing.
Yeah, I'm
Keep
just trying
them,
to really just
keep them
herd them
warm
into.
at least. It's livestock, so yay.
No.
Yeah, tilt some tables up into like a corner and make like a paddock kind of
Okay.
thing. They can't get out. They can't just wander around the inside.
Just quietly going, meh, meh, meh.
So the half orc tending the fire. Well, he'll throw a new log on the fire. We'll look up and go, I see you've managed to get back then.
Say, ah, yes, Nightstone. Yes, we've returned with the stolen ale and also some sheep as well. Worked out a good trip.
Good.
And
Oh,
Ilka is responsible for the missing wagon.
Yes, we killed the one responsible for killing the speaker and the other militiamen.
We do need to
let's
send a
go
party
get
out there
Grant
for the...
then.
Of course, they wouldn't know about the militiamen yet.
No.
Not, yeah.
Probably not. There's voice that they're missing. Say, there's time for that. Grant is old. Let us sleep tonight and then we can start afresh tomorrow.
Sounds
I could
sounds
really
good.
do with the
It is
rest.
late actually.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah. It's also well warm in here as well. Like
Yeah,
the bees
I'm
and
ready
stuff.
to
Oh yes,
collapse.
this is lovely in here.
Yeah, it's like the most
Completely
mild,
lovely.
warm place you've been to, probably in the while.
Uh,
Yeah.
he says, well, you can camp in here for the night if you want. Just roll out your rolls. I guess I'll get you some refreshment like water or something.
Oh, yes, please.
And yeah, you could just stay in here, watch the sheep, make sure they don't run amok.
Yeah.
You're clearing up
Oh, warm
after
in here.
them.
I say, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, Nightstone. We'll prop some tables up in the corner and make a paddock. Keep the sheep in one end. I assume I have a room here. I
You can
assume I've
have,
been living in
yeah,
the
sure.
mead hall.
You can have a old room of your own. That's, let's
Yeah.
say, just like upstairs.
Yeah,
I
just like a
guess-
little room with like a bed, basically.
Upstairs there'll be more levels. There'll be just one extra level. Think of it as more of a converted loft space.
Yeah.
Let's say.
So I always kind of just assumed I just lived at the brewery. It just seems to make the most sense. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I do.
I guess Dakoot's sleeping here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
we left him here, didn't we?
uh,
So I guess he's probably just sleep on the bench somewhere. I guess.
he will be around. Let's say you don't know where he's slept. He's not in this hall bit.
She's probably slept somewhere.
Take his
else.
hand, put him in some warm water.
Yeah.
No, wait, that was last campaign.
Just piss on him. Just get the middle, man.
Dakoot, wake up!
Yeah, I make sure everyone else is comfortable. Then I just say like, I'll retire to my room. I'll meet you tomorrow for breakfast.
Yes, my lord. My lady,
I
sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
probably
so you
like
bed down
hunker
for a
down,
nap.
but I probably don't go to sleep straight away.
Okay.
I do. I'm knackered. It's been a
I
long day.
I
then
probably
they
don't
walk,
even like
turn
roll
around
out
and-
my bed
Yeah.
thing, like my bedroll fully. Just literally slap down and just collapse on it.
Live
gone.
on the fire like
by
a
the
dog.
time
Yeah.
the waters come back, I'm gone.
yeah.
You're gone.
So
We just dragged the cart for like 6 hours
Yeah.
in the freezing night air. Like I'm
And I'm a
definitely ready.
human,
to
and
sleep.
I'm not used to this weather, and I don't like the cold. Yeah, everything is
Yeah.
mounting up against Amelia,
yeah,
and she's not a
so
happy bunny.
before I hunkered down for the night, I like sat in the corner warm, and like, just, obviously today's where he found out, he found out the magic stuff. So he's still kind of like, just sort of surprised at it.
These
His hands. But he puts out the whip in front of him and spends almost like meditating for about an hour,
Okay.
and then after the hour is up, he's like essentially bonded with the weapon in game. So
Speaking of bonding, do you attune to any items?
Yes.
no,
Um,
I
technically this
so
is
thought you
tuning.
were going to flagellate them for a second. Get the whip out.
I'm going to attune
Remember
to
the
this
bad
weapon.
Cassius, bad.
Are you attuned to the weapons
Well,
that
no,
teach you an altitude?
she's going to offer like the items to anyone who wants them. She's like, Quinn, this wand could be useful for
He's
for
already
your,
asleep.
I can do it
religion
before I
or-
go. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
a problem.
For your spells. Are you interested in this wand at all?
That is a good question. Would Quinn want
God,
to
I-
use a
Okay.
spell?
I do have a prop for this as well, actually.
Ooh.
Dangling that carrot, and he. Do you want the carrot? Take the
Not an orb.
carrot.
I do have a prop for a wand.
I don't think Quinn would.
Too much of a
Take
nerd.
the wand, Quinn.
You know
I
you want
feel
it.
like she has the deity stroke. Yeah, I think she'd probably say, Sophia, I thank you for the offer, but my power from Chantea is more than enough. I don't need any trinkets.
Very well. How about you, Cassius? This wand, I've got this pearls as well. I sense some power from it. Could help enhance your magic.
Cassius probably is like he's probably too involved with, if you're asking when he gets back, he's probably too involved with the fact that he's finally figured out how to use magic and stuff, and he's probably just going to be like, the offer is very kind, Saphira, but right now I need to learn how to do this first before I can start
Let's have a look
using-
at these in the morning, and
yes,
we can perhaps see if we could sell them for some gold. Are there
Yes,
any good armorers in Goodmead, Quinn?
I doubt it. But are there any?
We had an army. It's all gone now.
TM?
Misha.
No,
Yeah.
armorers.
Oh,
Armorers.
armorers. Sorry, I think it's
Uh,
armies.
Is that like
Not-
a blacksmith or?
Not really
Like,
in this one. You would have to go to one
Yeah,
of
I'd
the cities for a
say-
decent blacksmith.
Hold on to them
Yeah.
for now. I think, like, in game, would she only know what these items do after, like, attuning to them?
I
You
would say so
identified it,
because
didn't you?
then you're connected with them, and therefore you
Yeah.
I don't really know the mechanics of that, but let's
I
just.
think she's been studying the pearl. I
yeah.
did say that she's been studying the pearl, so she'll probably attune to it just to try and figure out what it does.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you get that. Like the knowledge
And the wand
passes
I'll leave
over.
aside for now.
Yeah. The only thing is, I really want it. But I don't know if Quinn would want it.
Yeah.
It's one of those where
No,
it's like,
she's
I
just
really
curious
want
about
it.
what they are, and she knows that they're magical in some form and could be valuable.
I let Quinn sleep on it.
I'm sure
Yeah.
nothing bad will happen.
Oh, nothing bad will happen. And at that point, as you all sleep, we'll take a break here.
Awesome.
Yay!
So I'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes or so. Everyone
Yeah.
get some food, stretch, get your water,
Hi,
Yeah,
Troy.
yeah. BRB.
and
BRB.
yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you all had a good break, and we will get back into it. So yes, you have all bedded down for the night in front of with the fire, with the bees, which are probably
Bees?
asleep because they're bees.
The bee!
The bees.
Oh,
Mm.
bees, yeah.
The
They're
bees.
in my
Yeah.
eyes!
Around the corner.
Blah.
Yep. You can all see them like they're over at their, hives, and they're quite quiet because it's, bees have to sleep as well. The sheep
Aren't they
have all bedded
confused because
down
it's
as
dark all the
well.
time?
Huh?
Aren't they confused because it's dark all the time?
Don't think their intelligence is that high.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. The bees. Who knows?
Someone
Um,
started a bee. I don't know this now.
yeah.
I'm
Who
kind of
has
curious
started
now.
bee? I mean, I've started bees, but So yeah, and then morning comes around. You'll probably all get woken up, like you'll hear shuffling of night stout, for instance, and you can hear that stuff. He's
Ah,
the first in. He's the first that sets everything up, I suppose. You can hear some sort of like whining noise and bubbling noise of like the actual brewery bit of the establishment kick into life. That probably
yeah.
like rouses you as well. But that is like a nice feeling. That's like home feeling.
Yeah, I'm very
It's
used to
like
the sounds
I
and
don't
like
sleep
the.
well.
it's like when
Yeah,
you're
I
in
was going
bed
to
late
mention
at night and
actually.
you can hear a
Hmm.
bath running in the distance.
Also,
It's that sort
going
of
by D&D Wiki, apparently a bee is a -5 to strength, a -5 to intelligence.
there
So
you
the
go.
intelligence of 1.
Bees for you.
Probably doesn't notice. It's weird.
It's one thing I was going to mention while sleeping is Amelia has a very restless night between seeing the sort of dragon, sorry, between seeing whatever that red flash was and the light.
Yeah.
Amelia doesn't actually get much sleep. So I will probably take a point of exhaustion for the day
Yeah, sure.
Ooh.
because I don't
To be
think
fair,
she would
also-
sleep very well, and I think she would be very
I'm not
on
sure if you
edge.
roll for that or not, but yeah, if you take a point, you take a point.
What
Yeah.
does Zufira see during the
I think-
night with these nightmares?
I think there is a constitution roll.
Hmm.
I've known others
I
to
slept like
to
a
do that.
baby back in my own
But if
bed.
you want to take a point out of roleplay, then
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Oh, I can
Well,
run. I can run Constitution if you want.
Yeah, I would say that it's in keeping. Let's just see if you.
Yeah,
Ooh.
definitely.
Yeah, you don't. You take a
Where'd you put
point
exhaustion?
of
Can't remember.
exhaustion.
Where'd you mark it?
I don't know if there's a tick anywhere, like a box.
I'll just
if
make
not,
a
I
just
mental
think
note.
you just keep track of it.
Okay.
As long as I get to 5.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
no, I know.
You start like
Yeah.
not moving.
You always do it like
I just don't
on the
wake up.
file.
with the curse, Phil, would I also roll for that, or is it just that I don't gain a benefit?
Straight up, is what it says.
Yeah, I would assume I don't take exhaustion. I just don't gain a benefit.
Mhm.
I probably hunkered down and I probably used a sheep as a pillow, so I probably had quite a nice night's sleep.
You go
Look,
in
wait.
the pen with the sheep. Do you?
I'm probably
cuddle
just
up?
like sleeping like with my head on the sheep, like
Sure. It's
Wow.
nice and fluffy.
oh, yeah.
They are like the big wool coats. that
Yeah,
you
I'm
see up
probably quite. They're
mountains.
probably not. They don't mind me. I'm just sleeping.
You have disadvantage on ability checks. Level 1 is.
I dream of the skeletal tribal woman, and she everywhere I turn, she's there, and it's horrifying. And I wake up and I'm just like, And Dende can feel it, and he's like, "I told you."
Shit, listen to me.
Shit's going
Dirty
down.
I
dwarf.
do not gain benefits. I do not get my spells back or anything.
Oh yeah, shit, that's a good point. Thank you.
Oh, holy shit.
Update your character sheet.
Oh yeah, I get everything back. Yeah, you don't have to do like a scene or anything, but it's definitely a moment during my like morning prayers. Where I'm like, should I take like outside power? And then kind of just come to a realization, I'm like, no. Like Shantae provides all the power I need. Why do I need to rely on anything else other than her? So yeah, Quinn's like, you know what? I was right. I was tired and hungry and everything by the time we came back last night. I had a moment of temptation. But no, I was right. I was right to refuse. Yeah.
Wait, does
Oh.
Zafira tell us this? Or is she just like not happy?
No, it's
Not
just
having a
over
day.
the night.
She would
'Cause-
probably, you would probably notice her and Dende talking and her being just like, she looks
Hmm.
like she's got bags under her eyes. And
Oh,
she's
yeah.
not
I
slept
think
well.
I think Mealy would recognize that instantly, having exactly a similar kind of thing, but a different experience, but a
Yeah, that's-
similar
Yeah.
outcome of just not being able to sleep,
Hmm.
just being very groggy
Sure.
today.
Cassius is
I think
probably
this
just,
magic
like,
item might
pretty
have
happy.
been cursed.
Well, that's not good news.
I
Maybe we
drank
should get.
that lady,
mean-
the dead lady.
I
And
guess I could be back in the room, I guess. Maybe I've already
I
come
don't feel
down.
good.
We should
I did not
get rid of
sleep
these items as soon as
well.
possible.
You should put them
I
back.
assume I can just get rid of it. Like I'm not like stuck with it or anything.
I like to think you can just pawn it off and cast it
Yeah.
onto somebody else.
She's gonna try and sell it maybe.
Whether
Yeah,
you're
'cause you just
conscious
say-
or self-conscious
Well,
takes a
she's-
hit from that or not. Up
You'd
to
have
you.
Yeah,
to-
I'm just thinking she is good.
Just chuck them away.
I think I think she'd probably
Do Excalibur, throw it into a lake.
Yeah.
So you'll know that if you throw it away, the curse is going to stay with you. If you
Yeah,
give
like,
it
if you want to
to
take it
somebody
back.
else, whether that be selling it on some kind of trade, some kind of neutral thing exchange, then the curse will pass over to them.
Give it
They'll
to
have to
the
deal with it.
Shit.
No,
Don't give it to
Give-
the coot. Not until he's finished
I
his
think
book.
we need to
Give
take
it to
this
the
back.
cute.
I'm sorry. I made a mistake, Dende. I think we need to take these back and bury them again. And I will do it myself if I have to. I will head over there today. I've
So
made a
give it to the
mistake.
verb beads.
I
Oh
will deal
shit!
with
Yeah.
that myself if I have to. And
Go on.
out of character, like we can
Make
sort
that
of
track.
skip a day or whatever, but she's gonna want to take this back
Hmm.
rather than
I
pawn
mean-
it off on someone because it's cursed, and it feels like the right thing to do.
Yeah, I'm kind of all up for returning these to the grave. I don't say I told you so, or I thought this would be a bad idea. Like, there's a look of satisfaction in Quinn's, like, because she's like, see, so what happens when you grave rob? Yeah, I don't say anything. I'm more concerned about
Is there anybody in?
Sophia's well-being rather than like.
Is there anybody in Goodmead that would be like, I don't know, a wizard who'd be able to identify this curse or whatever?
I don't think we're big enough for
Okay.
wizards.
Yeah, I feel like
Some
you're
kind
not
of
big
cleric
enough.
in Goodmead.
Basically,
I reckon there would. There was a at least a priest or something at the
yeah, that's a
Two-legged
at the
shrine.
temple.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to identify it. I think we just need to get it back. Like I suppose we could try to remove the curse from the items, but
Good. I'm
the
not a
Javira's not really thinking
wizard.
about that.
It is true.
Yeah.
There are ways of removing curses. I think literally just remove curse is a spell.
I
you
think
could
I might
use.
have been able to take that. I
Well,
can't now.
What do we need?
that's
I think I
third
can only
level.
change my spells when I level up.
Benefits of replacing stolen item. Yeah, so you get the impression replacing the stolen item will end the curse, as does a remove curse spell or similar magic.
Well, unless Quinn suggests that, like, she's going to defer to the cleric on this
Or,
one.
or
It's
like I say,
just-
passing it on to somebody else through fair exchange or an exchange.
Yeah, so I'd say because it is a cleric spell.
Wait.
Just checked it. So it's level 3. So there's only one level higher than the spells I can cast.
And this is
So I'm
both
sure I know of it.
objects.
Yeah, I'm sure I know of it. There'd be I know some clerics have the ability to remove curses, but I do not have a strong enough connection to do this. Maybe
Perhaps
the guy in the temple, didn't know if we named him or not. Maybe the
No,
priest who looks after the fire temple. What's it called?
it was the temple.
Shrine of the Flaming Sword.
it's
That's
on the-
it. Yeah, so maybe the priest who looks after the shrine of the Flaming Sword might know the spell, but I cannot help.
Well, I think we've got other things to deal with first. We can deal with this later.
But I know that return the items might not even get rid of the curse anyway.
You could probably estimate over common sense that returning items to a tomb would definitely increase the chances of removing
Yeah.
curse.
I know it wouldn't be like if we do that, it'll be gone completely kind of thing.
It's like, have you ever done it before yourself?
I definitely haven't.
Yeah.
He's a goody two shoes.
Have you? Do you think you've researched such knowledge in studies or anything?
Nah, I reckon it'll be more from wisdom.
Yeah.
So it'll be more from like intuition. I'd
Yeah,
probably just
that's
say
fine.
like Sophia, if we return the items, there's no guarantee that the curse would leave you. You may still
Oh.
be cursed anyway.
Oh.
Oh,
Depends on how the curse has been formed. I don't know. This is outside of my expertise. I never really looked into this. It's just a feeling I have.
Defer to your expertise in this matter.
I mean, if we can remove the curse, great.
Part of
If
Quinn's
not,
almost
perhaps
like
returning the item and seeing what happens. I mean, we can always return to the item once we have a way of removing the curse, potentially.
say before we travel all the way there, maybe we should consult the shrine keeper or whatever his name is. It's literally just across the road. Might save a lot of time.
What harm could it do?
Do we know the culture this tribal person was from at all?
Didn't do any checks for that.
if you didn't do any history checks,
No.
Well, we
And,
saw
no.
them.
it,
I
it
still remember
was
I
we
mean-
saw
Saw a
them, like,
skeleton.
saw them in the dream.
Yeah.
I guess could
But
I
I do-
roll one retroactively?
It's a tribe that settled in Icewind Dale. Yeah, you can. You. It's like you're thinking again.
Yeah, we still
I'll-
saw it
I'll
all. I
roll.
just
Is it
didn't
history
bother
or
to
not?
look
Any
at
of
it.
you that search your mind, feel free to. have
Yeah,
a
I'm
go.
good at history. I'm proficient in it.
17.
Oh wow. I'm good at history, but not
You
about
draw
this
a blank.
tribe.
17 is fine. You'll figure out that these are just Choltons that have come up from that continent over to this one, and somehow
Golden Curse.
found their way up here. Probably
So
by
weird
ship.
to go from Schult to like Icewind Dale. Talk about a clash of like
Yeah, it happens.
culture and like humidity and everything. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Mm.
they were like tired of the heat.
Yeah, it's like going from Madagascar to like Norway.
Quite extreme sports edition.
Really weird thing to go. Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, you'll see that Grant comes in.
Yeah.
You've all kind of gotten up. You've all started to chat to each other,
Mhm.
and he comes in, and Night Stout is probably fixing breakfast at this point for them both, at least.
Mm.
And you can smell like there's a kitchen somewhere adjacent to the hall. You can smell waft of bacon and eggs as the shutter doors open and close, kind of thing. And he goes, "Ah, I see you've made the trip and you've survived the journey."
Say, yes, Grant, we did good work. We brought back all but one of the casks of mead. But we exchanged the one cask that we don't have for the sheep in the corner. Managed to get 5 sheep for that one cask.
It sounds like a reasonable, trade that you've made, I suppose. This mead took a while to make, but we can make more. It'll just take a while.
Say all food is good food at this time.
Yeah, it's good. We'll make use of the sheep. We'll keep them warm and all of those kind of things. That's very good of you. Please make yourselves at home. We've got bacon and eggs are being fixed in the back there. I'm sure Night Stout can bring them out. And he says, "Night Stout, don't take too long." Shouts over his shoulder. Keeps him
Amelia
in check. He
chuckles.
does. Yeah.
She finds it funny, like this old guy is like
Yeah.
commanding this young, burly warrior type dude. It's just like, this is surreal.
You'll have bacon and eggs. Well, now that that's sorted, you can also help me out to get the casks back in their rightful place.
Oh yeah, totally.
We can then
I'll help with that.
sell them on at some point. I'm sure we'll get a much better price for them.
True.
What do you plan to do with yourselves now?
Fear the sheep.
Say, seems like my friend here is had a bit of bad luck. We might need to have a journey today. We shall find out. Is there any
What's the
news?
matter?
Do you have any coffee?
Yes, we have coffee.
I just need the coffee. I'll be fine.
All right, I'll get you some coffee. He shouts over to Night Stout, so, "Bring the coffee!" And he turns back to you all. You get you all freshened up. You do look a bit, peaky there.
I was just thinking. Not that it's probably too late to go back on, but would Sophia be at disadvantage with the history check because of the level of exhaustion?
She's not got exhaustion. She just didn't gain the benefit of a long rest.
Oh, is it just Jack that's got exhaustion? Oh, I thought you both.
So you might have noticed that Amelia's kind of a little bit quieter today, a little bit more out of
that's
it,
okay.
not as involved, and just
For a
feeling
moment,
a little
then
bit
let's just
rougher.
say, wait a
I'm mentally
minute.
exhausted.
Yeah, okay, cool. That's all right. Yeah, you did it all right.
Yeah, I was the exhaustion one.
Okay, cool.
You can then see that Decoup comes out of the kitchen, bringing the bacon and eggs, because he's been paying his way in boarding here. So he's like,
Like
I've
a
been doing.
sitcom laugh track plays when he walks in.
Yeah.
Say, anyone for breakfast? Hey! Got a little chef's out.
Like, I had to break a few eggs
off in the background. Yeah. Hey.
No, I'm not even going to ask him what I was going to ask him because I'm just not there.
All
Properly.
right. He
I had
goes,
to rob so many tombs to get these eggs.
Mm.
he's
Want
like,
another
"Hey,
curse?
ostrich
Uh,
egg.
good morning, everybody. Good to see you all. I've got bacon and eggs for you all. Here you go." He passes
Ooh.
Passes
That's
it
just like,
out.
ooh, food.
Continuing the sitcom theme, Zephyr would say to Dukut, how many tombs have you robbed? You ever get a curse from anything?
You're cursed, are you?
Yeah.
I've not robbed tombs before, but I should think you'll have to remove that curse somehow.
Eat up.
I just wanted to imagine the laugh track happening because he's like,
Yeah.
I've robbed 100 tombs, never had a curse. It's like your first tomb, Rob, you got a curse? That's bad luck.
Cuts into the Seinfeld like bass line.
Boom.
He says,
I think it's a level of tomb robbing. Sarcophagus
Yeah.
is up there.
yeah. It
Versus
says,
like a little
well,
bag of something.
you best go and sort that out as soon as you can because,
Hmm.
curses are pretty bad. They could be
Fear
deadly.
just looks directly into the camera and goes, and the laugh track.
Yeah. So he goes and sits down and eats his own bacon and eggs. You can see that Night Stout has also brung out his and Grant's as well. You all got this
Nice.
little like sitting around eating. Is there anything you want to say and do in amongst that?
Usual chit chatter with like the people I know, like Grant and that. But we don't need to role play that.
I
Just be
Okay.
talking about how business is going, all that kind of stuff. How's life going? Blah,
I-
blah.
probably won't tell these guys that I've basically got bonded with my whip yet. It's not like important. They'll just see it when it happens. So,
Yeah.
You got bonded with your whip?
yeah. So now I can make it appear from thin air. Doesn't matter where it is. I could bond with the boomerang or the
Bondage
crossbow as
one.
well, but I thought I'd just do
Now
the
you've
whip
got
now.
a bondage whip.
Yeah. And I've adopted the Belmont strut, so every time I walk I do this.
Okay.
I so want you guys to see my spirit weapon. It's gonna be so funny.
So after you've had breakfast, Grant gets whoever's the strongest looking to help them to move the barrels. Yeah, sure, move the barrels back over to the proper
Yeah.
storage place for these
I
things.
have +2 in
Um,
strength.
You can
Oh.
see Deku is looking over the new book that he's making. He's
Hmm.
making progress. It's like a quarter done or something like that. But you can see he's like, I've got everything in the right place. Here's the notes, where they go, the different chapters and things.
Do the referencing.
Yeah, the reference.
Not the
This book did
referencing.
that, this book did that. We see it doing that. There's the odd like, little honeybee will come up and land on your shoulders every now and again. You're like, it's a bee. Let me just get off.
No,
Kind of thing.
no,
He is
no,
not
no.
a fan of bees at all.
Thing.
If anyone hurts a bee, I will be very annoyed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like, I wouldn't
so-
hurt the bee. It's like,
I'm just not a fan of them at all. In
Yeah,
any way,
that's
shape,
You
or
know, the
form.
bee comes over. It's like just away.
Just save the bees. They're very
Yeah.
important to the
I'm
local
literally
ecosystem.
Buck Bumble.
I like to think there's a mixture of bumblebees, honeybees, just all the things. It was whatever they could have collected before the climate went downhill.
Yeah, we got a stash of them.
That's it. Stash in the boxes. And Dakut says, so with this curse, how do you think you're going to fix it? Are we moving on to the next town now, or are you going to, I don't know,
Need
go
to
back to
speak.
where you got these things?
I think
Well,
we're
I'm
going to
gonna speak
speak.
to someone.
We'll speak to the shrine keeper of the Shrine of the Flaming Sword.
Do you have a
Maybe they
maiden?
know more. That we need to deal with this problem before we really move on.
Sure. Well, I don't mind staying for as long as you guys, obviously. I can either stay here or come with you. It's up to you. I could work on my book for longer if I stay here.
So I think worst comes to worst, we will just be traveling back to where we were yesterday. I don't think we need you there. You might as well work on your book here.
Okay.
You know what? I
He's happy
think
with
I
that.
might just take a day. I'm not feeling with it. I think I need to spend some time, collect my thoughts. I'm going to be here at the Good Mead Inn if you need me.
Drinking mead.
Zafira, I hope you sort your curse out. I'm sure you will find a way. Again, if you do need me, I will be in the tavern, drinking my problems away.
You alright?
Just can't shake this feeling, you know? This feeling from last night first with the whatever that demon thing was, dragon, I don't know. And then second with the lights. There's something's playing on my mind, and I did not sleep well last night. In fact,
Okay.
I think similar to you, I seem to be just bringing up nightmares. I need to clear my mind.
There are foul things at play in Icewind Dale at the moment, but we are stronger together. If you ever need to talk about your concerns or fears, I am always here.
Thank you, Quinn. I'm sure we will speak again on the matter. For now, I just think I need to be. I think I need to be alone for a day, almost. But as I said, if you do need my help, Saphira, just let me know.
Appreciate that. I understand Icewind Dale can be trying. I may be used to it if you need to
Catch my
speak.
drift.
Jesus.
Enda is a good listener, I think. Sorry, I'm not with it today.
You, me both, Saphira.
I suggest
This,
we heat up and go to the temple as soon as possible.
I think Cassius is
Okay.
probably just going to. He's probably going to say to him, "It's like, unless you require my assistance, I'm going to do some laps of the town. Got some things to mull over myself, but I'll be around."
Gonna stare over the frozen lake. The wind like billows your cape, looking all emo across. Got so many things on my mind.
It's brooding.
How do I do this?
And he just strots off like that.
Yeah.
Monologuing to himself by the water's edge.
It was by this time I realised that I really liked sheep.
Mutton.
Wait, what?
Um,
No, he's going to go off and basically just, get a lay of the land and things. Like, obviously, things were weird yesterday, and obviously this curse now, and so I think he's more just, I want to make sure this town is safe, because obviously most of the guard got murdered as well. So he's like, okay, I'm going to go off and do what I do best, and that is protect.
Guess because like Quinn's feeling more at ease being back in like her own town, so I'm more than happy to go around with Sophia while we try and sort this out. Like, yeah, you get to spend more time at home. It's nice.
yeah. We can do that. So first of all, what's your plan of action then? Are you going to the shrine
Yes.
first? Temple?
Yeah, I guess shrine because literally just across the road, isn't it?
Yeah.
See if they know more than
Yeah.
what I knew about curses.
Okay, let's go and do that then. So, breakfast is done. You've sat around chatting. Grant is off tending the hives and things. Night Stout and Dakota are back in the kitchen washing up. You can also see that one or two other people coming in and out at this point and just doing daily chores and duties, things like that. Tending the flowers and making sure everything's in order.
Oh yeah.
And you step out once again into the cold because it is always damn cold here, and you you literally head across to the shrine. You can see that there are a couple of people outside, and you get the impression that people are still paying their respects to the deceased town speaker. He is still on display on a stone slab with a white sheet over him. But he won't be on display for much longer because, again, it's a corpse and corpses go a bit weird after a while.
Yeah,
So,
what was his name? Kendrick.
unless you put him in ice, it's going to get weird. So this is the last day of display, as it were.
Yeah,
You
I'd
can
make
notice-
make a sign of respect, like
Sure,
I
as you
hold
approach.
out. Like hold out my holy symbol. Maybe make some kind of sign
Okay,
of like Shantae, whatever that is.
sure. You can see that you look over to the right, and you can see that the priest in his robes, with the same sort of symbol around his neck, as there would be on the entrance to the temple. You can see he's talking to like 2 other people and offering his like comforting sort of
Oh,
talk.
like condolences. To, like,
Condolences, yes, that's it.
yeah.
Comforting kind of talk, and then after a moment or two, those people like go back and stand over the body, give another like nod. There's a person that puts down like a some sort of wild cut Arctic flower kind of thing. Maybe winter jasmine, for instance, which is actually a plant, if I remember correctly. That's a very nice, like yellow flower. So that's there. And he looks up at you. Who's there? Is it just you or?
Just
Quinn
me
and
and
Zafira,
Sophia.
right?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
they.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
The dragon's continuously with you now, is he? Or sure.
For the moment, he is. Quinn assured Zafira and Dende that he would be safe in this town, but people
Okay.
might be looking
Yeah,
weird at him.
I mean, it's a small dragon. It's like
Yeah.
you're getting looks left, right, and center just walking around the town. The town guard, like all of you as you walk, but then
Yeah.
they see you, Quinn, and it's like they're more comforted by that.
Yeah, I'm like greeting everyone.
okay.
Like, this town's
Yeah,
not big
it's
enough
fine
for there to be people I don't know in this
Plus, you're
town.
the cleric
Like,
of
I'm
the town,
sure
so-
I've seen everyone in this town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They might ask
And
questions.
he and yeah, you go over to him, and he welcomes you with like open arms. And
Is he an Australian?
is he an Australian?
Mm.
Crikey.
Yeah.
No.
I say,
Crikey, it's Quinn.
Yes.
I say,
Do that.
I say, good morning. Try and keep. So what to say?
day.
Good day. Good morning.
And he says,
Try and keep it.
he
Yeah.
says, nice to see you. Nice to see you back. And you don't have to call me that. My name is
I do
Sander.
know your name. What's the name?
Sander.
Xander.
Yeah.
Cool. I say, I know Xander, but I feel when we're acting in a professional
Manner.
situation, I feel rank is important.
All right. I see your meaning there.
Yeah, it's like we're literally like mid-funeral rites. I feel like it makes sense.
Yeah, it's fine.
To speak up, but also because my friend here is a delicate matter. I was wondering if you could give any advice on the situation.
Sure. What's wrong?
Probably say if there's like
Oh.
people around. Like, can we talk in private? If you want.
He slightly looks at, there are people around, and it's like, sure, I've got some time. I've got a few minutes to spare. Just come into he's got like a back room,
Yeah.
so he's like, come into my office,
Mm.
and you can make your way in there, and he he pushes the door too,
Yeah.
but doesn't close it, and goes, what's troubling you both?
We wait for Sophia to speak since it's her problem.
I've got a little issue, and she pulls up her robe and pulls out the pearl of power.
Where you been keeping that?
Yesterday we found a tomb of a Cholton lady, and she had some magical items, and we're adventurers. I thought we could use these to help some way with what we're doing, but I had nightmares all night, horrible nightmares. I think these items that I took were cursed. This wand as well, I didn't get any sleep. We thought about maybe returning them, but Quinn suggested coming here to speak with an expert.
You've
You're fucked, mate.
yeah.
Give you a
It's been
week.
nice knowing you, Zafira.
So we've got a spare slab for you here. Just lie down.
Yeah.
Uh,
Start re-rolling.
You know.
Like that.
He goes,
Savage.
right. I'll have to just hold on a second. He walks over to a bookcase. This is kind of like this is like an office area, a basic office area. Walks over to a bookcase and pulls out a book. Funny enough, it just has like curses for dummies written across it, or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, fuck it.
And he breaks it open and starts flipping through. And explain to me where exactly you found these.
East of a good mead. In yesterday, the speaker's killer. We actually
Yeah.
went to get the ale back, and we killed his murderer. But in there, we were looking for a demon, and we found a tomb. Seemed to be where these Verbeeg had found their home. There was a Cholton woman in a sarcophagus, and she had these items with her.
Well, this is right. That narrows it down a lot if you say Charlton. So flicks over. He does actually find he holds out the book and is like this and like this. You can see.
Yeah.
So these curses will. Yeah, it says they will stay with you unless you return the items. But I can do some things for you. I think I might be able to actually remove it.
What do you think is the right thing to do? I mean, I think we could use these items to help, but I,
Well, these items were hers, and they were buried. They were with this person for a reason. She probably used them throughout her life, and they probably helped lead her tribe throughout difficult times. And the thing is, I can I can get rid of the curse or curses, since there's two items here. It will take the best part of the morning to do it, and you'll have to follow my instruction. But I personally think that items uh, should remain with the person who owned them. You can, yeah, yeah, all of that.
well,
I
then in that
probably
case, I
agree.
think that's what we should do. In fact, rather than you spend your time removing this curse, I think maybe it's best I set out. And I don't know if you want to accompany me, Quinn. I can make my way myself, but
Let's
could be
say
dangerous.
I would rather go with you in case anything happens to you. I don't want to leave you alone just in case.
Okay. Thank you for your help, Xander, speaker.
Fine. It says in the book, normally curses happen once a day. Sometimes they can be much worse. For instance, there's one passage in here that I read a few weeks ago that says, you could have a demon following you and catching you up, those kind of things. So yeah, it's best not to like meddle with things like this.
We saw a demon yesterday, or a devil.
Yeah, did you?
I mean, not me, my friend Amelia.
I mean, this
Interesting.
isn't to do with this curse. That's just an
I
example.
don't think so. But I have some abilities, and I reached out, but I couldn't sense anything, any fiends, any.
Oh, well, you're probably fine then. If you I don't know what you can do, but if you didn't sense anything using whatever magic or abilities you have, then there probably isn't any.
I mean, I'm not an expert. That's him. And she points down to Dendera. She's like, hello.
He looks down and is like, oh yes. So I've never seen a dragon before. That's strange.
Oh, well, I'm not a true dragon. More of a drake. Lovely to meet you.
It's just like nodding. Bit
He
taken
might,
back
as a
though, the fact
cleric,
that
might be able to sense this is actually a spirit in physical form.
I think there's an inkling. I think there's like an understanding
Yeah.
of like, okay, this is, it's like thing.
Hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, if that's everything, I need there's a bit of a queue this morning
Yeah,
as
I
this is the
say
last day.
yeah, I
If
say
you
yes,
understand.
and yes, Sander. Thank you for your time. I hope to be back for the funeral rites. I'll just say in case we don't bury people here, we just burn them or something.
Mm. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
The tomorrow will be when we hold the burial ceremony.
I guess the election must be soon as well. I kind of just say to myself as I'm like forgetting to leave, like, oh yeah, the election. I should probably
Yeah,
look into
you'll know that the election is in the next
that.
couple of days. It's
Yeah.
right around the corner.
Well, as I've been
Uh,
so distracted by like the missing delivery and like the curse and all that. Like this is like the first time it like comes to Quinn's mind, be like, oh yeah, election. And you know something I should be doing about that.
It's actually a Thursday right now.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a Thursday.
Nice.
So you'll know
Ah.
that let's say through the odd like bit of talking you've heard, if this is Thursday, it will happen on Sunday.
Yeah, I've been chatting to like Grant and stuff. I'm assuming
Yeah, it will
this
happen at the end of this week. This is like
assume
the
this is
last
the
running.
main gossip in the town at the moment.
Yeah, it's like who. It's like I know that person's pretty up for it, but that person seems to be a bit like I don't know. There's
Yeah.
gossip going on like
I
that.
think it should be this person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I
Cool.
want to do, then, so you guys, you can see there's a queue of people,
Mm.
and you step out back into the outdoors.
Oh yeah.
I want to get your plans, and then I'll start moving to the other two.
I don't know if they would want to ask the others if they wanted to come. Like they should probably go and find the others and like ask. I don't need to necessarily role play it all.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I'm like, we should probably ask them, but it does sound like both of them wanted to stay here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
I-
OOC, would they be interested?
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
the scene of like they find you both back wherever you are,
Yeah,
and
we
that
get
question
back
is
to the
asked.
inn.
What do you want to do?
I'll go with them. I've got no
You'll
issues
go.
with that. Yeah.
Okay.
If they want me to go with them, I'll go.
Yeah, it's one of those. We're just returning it.
We'll stick
Don't
together.
really foresee
Yep.
I
trouble,
guess it
but
would only take a few hours. It probably wouldn't take that
Yeah,
long.
this is
But
like
then,
you're going in a
yeah.
straight line. You're not dragging
did
anything.
we tell anyone
or-
about the bodies?
up
Oh
to you.
yeah, that's a good point actually.
It might be
I
the
guess
time to
I'll
do that.
tell people. Yeah, I tell Grant and stuff roughly where
Tell
like
Grant.
the malicious bodies are. If you could
In
send
the
people.
for you, Cassius, your time just walking around and checking the perimeter in the morning. Do you tell the town guard, for instance? Is there
What
any?
town guard? Aren't they all dead?
Oh yeah, no. You see like just a pair of them walking around
Hmm.
doing the same, like
Oh, do I tell them about the dead bodies? Is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
I'm like, do you? There's a moment where
Uh,
you pass two town guard, and
If
like, do you tell them or not?
I would likely say something because I wouldn't know if they've been told. If they're
Okay.
just because I obviously I've gone out because I'm like, oh fuck, like most of the militia are dead, so I'm not we're not doing anything today, so I'll go out and patrol.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess if I come across town guard, I probably would say to them,
Because my plan, obviously, you don't know what Quinn's plan. Well, Quinn's plan was just like go to sleep, get up in the morning, then like spread word about where the bodies are and get
Yeah.
some of the town folk to collect them. Because there's just us four trying to drag a body back each is going to take forever.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
Yeah, someone with a horse and cart do it.
As I remember, so for a bit of
Flavour.
logistics, there's a population of about 100 here.
Yeah.
And they can muster up to 20 soldiers. That's
Hmm.
your town guard with 2 seniors, 2 veterans.
Is that
And
minus?
me.
Is that 15 then? If we're saying that 5 of them were killed.
And
Yeah, there's
my
like
axe.
15 recognized. These are people that can
Yeah,
handle a sword.
I guess that at that point then
Militia.
I would probably mention it to these guardsmen,
Yeah.
whether they know or don't know. I probably would stop and say like, have you been told about what's happened to the
Yeah.
militia and has anyone been sent? And if not, you need to send people and
Yeah,
lead them to
they'll
it, really.
basically take that information and
Yeah.
then just get a group of people together to go out and retrieve the
Yeah,
bodies.
it's kind of my plan, just to spread word in the morning.
Sure.
Just get Grant to do it.
So basically, you gather up whatever supply you need. This will take, you'll get back morning that straight there, that probably about 6ish. No, not so much. Let's say about you'll get back in about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I'm actually worried if we get there, what Quinn like. This is why she didn't want to go alone with Quinn. Is that if Quinn starts something with the verb?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Let's get to that bit. So you basically quick march straight there, and you get outside, and
We need to be stealthy.
it's the day after. Okay. If combat happens, then I'll arrange the map. But you basically get up to the cave entrance. Which cave entrance do you go in? Do you go in the left one, the middle one, the?
Before we go in, I would ask Quinn if she could share her vision, her vision's gifts. And I'd also suggest that.
I can do.
Say, I have an idea.
I bet.
This might be overthinking things, but do you remember the stone we saw last night? The obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to try and remove that from their possession if I can,
Oh Jesus!
stealthily.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think is a good plan.
Cassius is like, That was just meddling in other people's affairs. Like, he was like,
Just take him.
I
Just
think
put
it's
back one
it's
cursed
better
item.
to take this item out of their possession before something bad happens to them.
okay.
My dice. We could.
Unless you
speak
think
to them
otherwise,
about
this is a party. We are a group of 4. If
I
you
suggest-
I
have-
agree that it's a good thing. I think that we should get it away from them one way or the other. But I think maybe
not
I
today.
don't know. I don't know.
I
could try
suggest
to
dealing
take
with
it.
the curse 1st.
Sure,
Or
let's do
put
that.
the
Yeah.
items back before we do anything else, then see
Sure.
if an opportunity arises.
Yeah, I was
You
just
don't even
hoping
know if
maybe
they'll
they would
be
just
in.
be either gone or not here, or on the other side
Maybe
of the
stealth
room
would
where
be
I could
better.
just, cheeky switcheroo.
Stealth is
Given
definitely
how
the way
things
forward.
went yesterday with the cart and the argument, I think maybe stealth and just take it away would be better, actually.
That's my plan.
Well,
I
Well,
was
let's
hoping
get
they're
you
not there.
sorted first.
Sure.
Get those
Are you
items back.
planning to?
Let's deal with the curse. The curse is the most important thing here.
Yeah. When you say stealth, do you mean stealth in? Or
I
talk
just
to
don't
them
mean, yeah,
and
we
go in?
don't want to alert them to our presence. I think that would end badly,
Okay.
especially with
You want
how
me and
the
Cassius-
second encounter went. I cannot imagine another one going so well.
Do you want me and Cassius to stay outside if you're stealthing?
With your vision, I think we should be okay with that.
No,
plan.
we're in heavy armor.
Yeah, I can
That's
do
what
that.
I mean. If with your vision,
Oh.
me and Zafira
Oh,
should be
I'm
fine.
over here. Oops. Come back down here.
Yeah.
My token
Then
was in the
we
wrong
will-
place.
Perhaps if be ready then they to just distract them, and if they hear something start coming our way, you could make a noise and lead them away. You're fast. I think I can do that.
Just as you're coming up to the cave, the set of cave entrances, over by the logs and the trees, you can see that there's a freshly dug mound of soil, a rectangular mound of soil, and there's like a big stick and two sticks have been fashioned into a cross basically to like mark a grave.
This is probably Ogre
That's
Boy.
the
isn't it?
ogre boy, yeah.
Yeah, it's like big enough to be that. You
Yeah.
guys.
Goblins and gnomes.
Goblins and dooms.
Okay. You can hear, you can hear chatter coming from the main cave entrance, which is the. So you've got a choice. Like, do you go up?
Wherever the
one do
chatter
you do?
isn't. I guess if we
First,
can
we
hear
go
it
return
coming.
the items.
Up the middle makes the most
Ideally,
sense.
the left one would be ideal because it leads straight into the chamber.
That's the bear's cave.
It's not where he lived.
That's where the bear lives.
right.
That's true.
Up the middle would be your best one because
Yeah,
there's
the
tunnels.
middle
I
makes
think
sense.
Dende's going to go left as a distraction to sort of. Well, is I can't see with Dende. Is the.
So Dende sees in there, and he can't see
There
the
up
bear,
there.
but he sees up the ice stream into the cave.
I want Dende to go up there, maybe or he could go around the other side. Actually, he could go on the right to pull them away from where we're going to be. I cannot see with him, but that's
How far
I
can he
just
see?
tell you that that's the idea. He can't see. His token can't see, so I can't really move with him.
I was going to set the distance. I've just figured out like
Oh, I
night
can see where his
vision.
token in the dark is now, but I don't have like dark vision on him with his
okay.
token.
Right. All right. So
He's
he
going to be
goes-
around the side, and basically, if they hear us, he's going to make noise to the right and draw them right.
Cool.
Oh, there's our actual token.
I guess I just stay here with Cassius then.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, come on, all these things.
just
Yeah, you can. There aren't any noises coming from the left or the right. It's literally just
nice.
the main bit where the campfire was.
Are you able to give Dende dark vision?
I think I just had it then. If I get all these tabs out of the way, they're getting away so easily.
2 screens, mate. 2 screens.
Just
Yeah,
make
well,
life easier.
That's not it.
night vision. What distance?
60.
60. Right. How about that?
Got it. Yay! Thank you.
All right. Now take
Hello.
off the aura thing.
Oh yeah. The
Okay,
orders.
there you go.
Sweet. So
You
I'll
can
just
also
set
put
the
his health
way-
in there and armor value, whatever it is.
Yeah, well, I'll do that if we get into Oh, wait, I see something over
No,
there.
that's not there.
Okay. So he's just gonna be round about here, and
Why is this weird?
Zufira is gonna go straight up the middle to where the body was gonna go up on the left here. I assume that Amelia's coming with.
Yep.
Yeah,
Where did
you
we go?
can
In the
go
middle?
in there.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
So
When
I
you
don't know
get
when you want me to
here,
roll a stealth check.
make a stealth check for when you get around these parts. Then
So I would
Stealth
normally get
check.
advantage, but because I'm exhausted, it's just a straight roll for me.
yeah.
dear.
Ooh.
Nat 20.
Okay.
Nice.
I need to.
Oh.
Nat 1 for Amelia.
That one.
No,
Jesus.
I have
Wow.
advantage, so it's just a
Oh,
straight
you
roll.
normally have advantage. Oh,
Oh,
good.
I normally have advantage
Thank
as my
fuck.
chameleon's cloak, but
That's good then.
because
Okay.
I have exhaustion, it's just a straight roll.
Everyone has
It's like
fancy stuff
low
except
for
for
these
me.
things.
Fucking
Yeah, you're
campaign
fine.
1 all over again. Jack with all the fucking overpriced magic items.
It's not that overpriced. It's pretty.
What do you mean overpriced magic item? That's
You
not
got a +1 sword and a fucking cloak. Like, where'd you get all this shit, you rich?
Yeah.
Well, my daddy was Kalasite Elduin, that's
Yeah.
why.
Eat the rich.
Oh dear.
So yeah, you make it past unseen.
There.
You believe that you've not been seen.
She's
Oh,
going
shit, where'd
to
you
get
go?
to the sarcophagus. Is it still open?
Oh,
We
there.
didn't like seal it back up, did we?
Yeah, this is still open.
Okay, well, she's just going to place the items back in the hands as she left and go, I apologize. I'm trying to use these for a greater purpose, but these belong to you. I return them to you.
Hmm.
Be at peace, and please leave me to my purpose. I come back and brought these to you. And she will not close the sarcophagus because it's going to be too loud. She's gonna. What, you
You
rolling
put the orb back in the hand.
Yeah.
The hand is still like this because you would have had to prise the thing out, and you also put the wand back where it would be. And as far as you know, there isn't a swirl of energy. There isn't a fade of energy. You will just have to see.
Yeah. I can always go back to the priest if it's still there tomorrow.
True.
So with that done, now okay, let's go back to the others, or should we try to go get the obsidian now?
Oh no.
I just want to see where they are. If I can see where they are, it's worth a try.
Well, we need to find where it is. If they've got it with them, that's going to be difficult.
I reckon it'd be by the campfire.
That's what they feared.
I just hope they're not there.
Okay. Well, we heard them right by the campfire.
Yeah, you heard them in the tunnel that leads to the campfire.
Okay,
They're
there.
going to have it with them, I
Yeah.
think.
Fuck it.
It depends. Do you risk going and having a look, or do you just go out?
I'm gonna have a look. Just a little look. Just a little look.
Just a
Can't help
sneaky
himself, can
look.
he?
Go
Just
and
a
creep
sneaky-
up there and give me another stealth check since you're
I'll
coming
follow
back into the
behind
area.
you. Gonna let you go first.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't want you to fail
Why
this.
is that not? Okay, yeah, you can see. There he is. Well, there she is.
Oh,
Is that another stealth check from both of
Oh,
us?
yeah,
Yeah.
stealth for both of you.
Alright,
If you're
yeah.
creeping up to look around the corner.
22. Holding.
Wow, you're
Okay.
rolling so well.
so
Fine.
stealthy.
You're
Yeah.
Can I
yeah.
see
Glad
a
I'm not
bag?
there.
Yes.
Oh, please
Okay.
don't.
So this
Oh, no.
bag is right here. I will put an X.
It's just like a massive chunk, right? It's not a small sliver.
The basket is resting on top of this box, and you can see that same. Let's say you can see that chunk resting on the box, and there are other bits and bobs that have just been like taken out and looked at and then placed next to the basket. But you can quite plainly see there's just this rod of black material that you've seen before.
A
And it
rod
is
of
there.
evil.
How
Do it.
easy would this be? Like, are they looking at each other? Are they like, so
Yeah,
imagine
they're
this is
deep in-
here and they're like looking at each other over on this side. Is this like
Yeah, they're deep
doable
in
or are they looking at it?
conversation, So
Are they
they're deep
banging?
in conversation. No, they're not. They're deep in conversation.
Eh,
And from your judgment, it's like you would have to get down low. You would be able to remain out of sight. As you get down low, you've made your stealth check, so I'll give you that. You have to get outside, and then you have to make a sleight of hand check to see if you can nab the thing off the crate without making any noise of like the picking up or accidentally
Disadvantage.
jiggling something
At
around.
disadvantage.
Yeah.
Or I could say, Severa is right there. You can do it. I believe in you. I'm not feeling well
Why don't
today.
Okay. Okay.
Can we please stop whispering? This is making me feel weird.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go in.
Yeah.
Move up. Is it the cart or the box? You said.
It's on that box next to the circle.
Okay. I'm gonna
Although-
reach out,
Ooh, it.
Yeah.
and I'm going to. Not one.
Really?
Hang on, where do you say it
Not
was?
one.
Jesus.
Is it,
Yeah.
is it not that red X next to the sheep pen? Was that something else?
No, that was
That's where he died, wasn't it?
that was like
Yoga.
a sword or whip
Wow,
or something.
that's
No, it's
like
a
a
boomerang,
hand.
maybe.
I think she's just
Yeah.
gonna like reach for it, and the whole thing's just gonna knock over.
Yeah, there's something you jingle something next to it, and it's like that you're foiled.
And as
in
that
these
happens,
moments, what do
I
you
like
do?
to have Dende react. Well,
Okay.
I mean, it's a nat one, so they'll probably still see her.
Yep.
But Dende at this moment would hear this topple over, and probably just go like, "Oh, come here, you cowards! I'm going to kill all of you!" And he's going to run up to the entrance,
Yeah.
stomp around,
Yeah.
and then run away.
Okay.
But also, the thing tips over right behind them first.
So because you've got your dragon there enough, and what's their intelligence?
I thought he was going to be like, nay, I'm a
He's
horse.
not a good bluffer, man. This isn't what he does.
Oh Jesus, their intelligence is low. So
I really
yeah,
want to
I
do a sleight
reckon.
of hand check just to see what would happen if I did it.
Yeah. I
Of course, it has to
reckon
be a nat
there
one.
is those moments, and then they see the dragon blatantly come out at them and stomp around. So now they're going to start following the dragon round, basically.
They're not going to take notice of the
Whoa.
dwarf then at all. They're just going to follow the dragon.
You know, they'll follow
Okay.
that. Distraction has been made.
Yeah.
through
Well, it's a
cunning,
nat
at least.
one, so yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I was thinking they might actually see the dwarf and be like,
Well, yeah, they probably would, I imagine.
Well, yeah. Let's say the female goes after the dragon. They're both getting up, and the male sees you
Duke.
blatantly, like the hand is there. You knocked it over,
Mhm.
and he's like, "Hey, you again!" And then he's getting up.
Come back.
You need to take this from you. She's just going to grab it and run.
Okay, you grab it.
And
I'm
I
going
don't know
I
if
want to
yeah.
see.
Dende's fast enough to escape, but she's only 25 feet of movement.
That is
So,
true. Let's see how
I'll probably
fast
catch up.
Oh no.
Your movement's about as bad as mine.
He's got
Yeah, she's a
40
dwarf.
feet of movement. So they will be catching up.
They're 40 feet.
They're 40 feet.
Yeah.
They're large, aren't they? I guess.
Oh, but then
Yeah.
again, judging by the map, which way do you go?
Back the way they came, like out here, I think. You know,
Do
left.
you?
Leg
I don't wanna move the
leg
token.
it.
But like, she's going
Well,
to
you
go
go
like
down. You
left
go down
and
the.
then
You go
Yeah.
this way. Do you?
back to where the other two
Okay.
are waiting. I assume.
Because at that point, I
Yeah, I
reckon
haven't
you
moved.
could get away, because he's obviously he's a giant, and he will have difficulty
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to squeeze down those tunnels.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're only
He
5 foot,
can
aren't
get
they?
through, but he's having to really like bend down low, try and get along, almost crouch, like plodding along.
Well,
And you
caper.
guys can just like leg it straight out. You can bound over the logs, and you can make it out into the woodland.
Just cut his head off
you know.
when he goes through the tunnel.
She's going to come barreling out where
Yeah.
Cassius
I hear the
and
crash.
Quinn are waiting. Just be like, "Windmaid, go, go, go!"
Yeah, you can hear
And
big,
they're going to come
you can hear
around the
big
other
yelling
side.
and
Tudun,
thumping
tudun, tudun.
through
Yeah.
the caves.
Go.
Or running. I can't run very fast. But
Yeah, we got it.
Can I
Right.
can
Yeah,
I
I'll
pick
let you
up
Oh,
can I pick
so
up
funny.
Quinn, chuck her on my shoulder, and just run?
Yeah, you can if you
no,
want.
no, you
I don't-
cannot do that.
Can I just pick her up behind her and just carry her?
No. I will oppose that.
Wait, I'll be behind you so you wouldn't see it
So-
coming.
And
You're
as soon as I elbow you in the
you're running
ribs,
and running.
like no,
Take
you're not
time.
picking
and
me
you
up.
hear yelling
Again.
and stuff like that, and then you just there's a point where you just keep on running, but then you realize that you've been running so long and you can't hear footsteps behind you anymore.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Say, it's a mammoth all over again.
Oh, why do we keep being chased by large things?
I think we.
Wow.
I return the items.
I think Cassius is
And-
going to be visibly quite pissed off. I think at this point.
Say,
I think we needed to take that away from them. I think it had to be done.
It's got the
Agreed.
obsidian now. It's like a big chunk of obsidian, right? Like
It's
this
not a big
Okay.
chunk. It's a sizable, like in your hand kind of
Okay.
chunk.
oh yeah.
Like a tennis ball.
Yeah, something like that.
Hmm.
Tennis
What
ball.
would you say here?
Say.
You got rid of the orb.
Does this
So-
hurt at all to hold it? Is it like
But to say, I hope we
Um,
haven't swapped one curse for another.
It's cold to the touch. Like this is like a shard of a thing. Obsidian cold sort of rock.
You put it in the
You would
bag.
have to do
bag.
more studies. You would have to spend more time with it to try and figure out what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably say should put that
Quinn,
as a
maybe you want to
bag.
hold on to this. You're the expert. I don't know. I can take it, but
Yeah, I would take it if you. Yeah, if
yeah,
you offer it, I would take
she's
it. Yeah,
enough with cursed items. Like
yeah, I'll put it in my bag. I feel like
I think at this
I
point,
know the
Gavin's
most about this.
probably going to say, like, he's like, I accept that my understanding of this material may not be where it needs to be, but we've just stolen like items from somebody. This is something I cannot get behind. Like these these are not doing any harm, and all we've done, for all we know, this might not even
What
affect
do you
them.
mean this has been doing no harm? You've already seen the effects of this rock on the
I
members of the cult.
do know what these
I've
were
seen,
believed to be possessed or
Yeah,
otherwise, I don't
you've
know,
seen their obsession with
cursed.
it firsthand.
I
but I've
knew they
only
wouldn't.
seen one
I wanted to
person
check that they
react.
weren't going to. I knew they were going to keep it. I knew it from the moment she said, "Oh yeah, I'll get rid of it." It was obvious that she was not, and I just. This is a dangerous. We need to learn more about this rock. We've seen it
I've
in cultist hands now multiple times.
Hmm.
I don't think we can turn a blind eye to this, whatever this is,
Hmm.
whether it's harmless or not. I think we need to study it, we need to understand it,
I've
and we need to prevent
researched.
its influence wherever possible.
Hmm. I've researched much into this cult, for I believe it is the adversary of my deity. Believe that this unnatural weather isn't coincidence with the rise of this cult. But I don't know why you'd assume it's a good thing for them to keep.
Oh, it is not for me to judge whether it is a good thing for them to keep or not. We have taken anything, in this case, this item, which I know very little about, and I've only seen one human react the way that they've reacted to it. And quite frankly, it may not have had any effect on them, and we're just taking their stuff because we believe that it's corrupt. If this
So,
is the case, then I wish to learn more before we start gallivanting and doing this everywhere.
so
I
Cassius,
agree.
your morality confuses me, but I think we're on the same page that this is bad.
I,
yes,
I
yes, I respect that you're trying to do the right thing and be considerate, but spend long enough in Icewind Dale and you understand that people don't always know what's good for them. And I try to do
and
my best in there. I try to not hurt them. They're fine. They're alive. But I think if they'd kept this, they might not be. I think we did the right thing today.
in this case, I wish to. We must find out the truth behind this and what it does sooner rather than later. Because if it is really that bad, then fine, our actions are justified. But as it stands, and from where I'm standing, this does not sit well.
I agree. If we can ascertain that this item, this obsidian, is harmless, then by all means we will return this to its rightful owner. They are more than happy to keep it. I just want to make sure that they are safe. And I believe them being in the possession of this, it makes me feel uneasy.
I don't want to hold on to this any longer than we have to, but maybe now we
Agreed.
can look
We
into
need to
more
understand.
what it
We need
is.
to understand what it is we're dealing
Inside,
with.
it's like inside, like Quinn doesn't really say much more, but like inside, she's just like, Cassius, you fucking idiot.
See, this is what I'm confused about because like
Quinn's like,
we've only encountered one person, right?
City slicker, thinking you know best. Don't know how this frontier land works. She's just like, you'd be dead in a ditch
Let me-
without us, like so long ago.
We had one guy that we found who, when we had the child living with us originally, would look at it, right? And that's all we know, right? Correct? Or was there something else that we should know about
The
that?
guy
I
who
forgot?
had all the shards shoved into his body.
Yeah,
in the
he's plugged
thing.
up the
Yeah.
That was
water
It's-
hole.
You're right. It is a very weird thing, but we know it's being used by the cults.
So
So we know
I,
that the cults have some reason to be using this to
Yeah.
influence people's behavior. We knew that the guy was
yeah, 'cause-
is it unworldly attracted to the obsidian. So we know that
Yeah.
it definitely has an influence on people. We don't know whether
Yeah.
that's the same thing with the beaks or other things, but it's you can make a good
think I
assumption that
rolled-
there's probably something more to this rock.
I
than
think
just
either I
being
rolled
a
on
pretty
it.
little rock.
Yeah, I think either I rolled on it, or it's just something that me and Sophia know from just being native to Icewind Dale that over the last couple of years this cult is
I
growing
didn't
in popularity, and they
get anything
use
about it, but we saw the initial
stones.
hillbilly kind of guy. He kept eyeing it,
Yeah,
right? The
so-
stuff we had.
Yeah, so this is why I think
I might have
Cassius,
rolled on it. I can't remember.
Cassius
I
is
think
a
you
bit
might have. Zufira definitely didn't.
Yeah,
because we've only seen one human who was from Dugan's Hole, which not the best place, and they're all a bit fucking weird. React the way that we've seen.
not really doing much to help the city slicker
So
mentality.
for me, it's kind of a case of like, I need to see or know more about this obsidian before I can start
smoke
deeming it like, hey.
I said, do you want to smoke some? We need to find out more about this. We need to investigate this stuff.
But
I
Cassius,
suggest-
I mean,
Cassius needs
Quinn's
to know.
planning to research now. She's got a hand on.
Yeah. We got some anyway. We have some already.
We did, yeah. To be fair,
No, but yeah,
a smaller
from
piece
his
though.
from his point of view, he just simply is
I
like,
had a chance to like spend an afternoon researching into.
Yeah,
see
true,
if she
yeah.
The thing is, I
could
don't think
see
we're,
anything.
either of us
Like,
are going to be right or wrong with this decision. It's
We
kind
got
of like
time
we've
before
done
the
what we've
election.
done.
Maybe we can.
We don't know
do a
if
little
we're
bit
done
of-
with the right thing. We might have done the wrong thing,
Yeah.
but we
Wanna
need to find out
poke
more.
'em.
yeah, and I think that's why he's like, hang on a minute, like, what gives us the right to steal when we ourselves are not 100%
Right,
sure on the.
It's
fucking murdered
stealing
and
out
what
of
they said
protection,
yesterday.
almost.
Yeah. Like, I think he's okay. Like, he's understanding the logic, but it doesn't sit well with him because he himself doesn't fully understand what
I
this
just
thing
find
is.
it so weird. Like Quinn's just very. I know this isn't happening in character, but Quinn's just like. So you find like stealing relics from like people, but stealing from like these people
see.
who already are a part of the evil cult that's fucking up the environment. Like,
Because he doesn't
you
have
get
the full
annoyed at me
picture.
killing animals, but you don't get annoyed at us like killing bands. Like Quinn's just like
That's
very
different.
confused.
Killing animals.
Hang
is
on.
different, man.
Like, killing something when it's asleep, that's pretty fucked up, I think.
Like
I'm with
Quinn's
Cassius
like,
on that one.
Yeah. But he's just.
survival of the fittest, bitch.
But that's the
Don't
thing is,
do
you gotta
that.
understand, he's only been here for a month. He's still learning.
That's why, like in Quinn's head, after we've finished discussing this, and we're probably on our way back, Quinn's just like, "Fuck's sake!"
It's like,
it's like you're so green. It's like you would not survive.
but he's also like, from his point, like logically in his head, he's like, I need to know more about the way things are before I can start making decisions whether someone should and shouldn't have something. So
Yeah,
he's like,
Bill's counting up HP for the next encounter. He's like, if they take too long talking out here, I'm gonna have to throw.
no, I mean, this isn't in
Yeah.
time. Anyway.
Quinn doesn't run on
Remember
logic.
that mammoth?
Quinn runs on intuition.
Yeah, so that's probably why we clash then, because he's like,
I'm a cleric. Yeah, I'm wisdom.
Yeah.
I run on intuition, not
I'm intelligent.
knowledge.
So yeah.
Also, I haven't been in a temple for like 20 years. Like, I'm pretty much just run by my intuition. Let my god follow me. Like,
It's going to be
Yeah,
interesting.
absolutely.
I think, like, right at this point, Cassius wants to know more. He wants to understand what this is because, again, it's like, what
I
gives.
think we're all in the
gives us
same boat
right-
there, though.
Quinn still wants revenge on these
Yeah.
furballs anyway. Like, Quinn's still annoyed at
They didn't even
them.
kill anyone that we know of.
It's an accessory to murder. It's only their word. It's only his word.
The
That
thing is,
we're
an
taking
accessory
to
to
know
murder is
about it.
knowing about it, though.
That's true. He might not have known about the killings.
Yeah, let's go
Which
by
they
his
didn't,
word.
apparently.
though.
According to their logic, it's just they were just
Yeah.
given some ale
Yeah.
that they could
But
drink.
yeah, I just wanted to. I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that the only person we'd encountered before this was that crazy guy from Dugan's
Yeah,
Hole.
yeah.
I was like,
Anyone alive with him? Yeah.
yeah. That's cool. Right, I just wanted to make sure because I was like, am I missing something? But no, cool.
Well, that was enough for Amelia to be like, yeah, this is
I
fucking
mean,
weird.
maybe we can establish with Phil how much we do know about this Chardalin stuff.
Yeah.
It's magical.
We can
Don't we?
certainly do those things and give you a bit more insight.
I guess
will say
in-game-
that there is a library in the main cities, and you could probably do research there to give you more in-depth information.
But we don't like how much did Quinn know?
So for the two of you or whoever has been in Icewind Dale long enough, you'll know that it is a rare substance that is naturally occurring and can be mined in normally chunks as big as you're getting in the north. Have you ever ventured far out into the wilderness?
Me, I would have for sure. Zufira probably. Well,
Okay.
yeah, I imagine so. I think that was her hobby.
So
Kind of.
my
Yeah.
notes from the first session. Sorry, I just went up my notes. So my notes I've written down is man is weird, wants to go back to town, wanna die.
Yeah.
I got Charden Rock cultist,
Slate.
shrine to the Frost Maiden, priests blessed by the Frost Maiden, priests seem unaffected by the cold, and Charden can be found in Icewind Dale like only, or it's only really found around here. So that's my notes on it that I
Apparently,
wrote
it's
down.
black slate.
Yeah.
It's more slate than obsidian.
Yeah, it's like
It's like a crystalline thing from
That's
what
what I wrote
I'm
down.
it's
Like
a
this.
crystal like from a distance it looks like a black rock, but when you get up to it, it is pretty much like it's almost like brittle,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
like glassy sort of
The thing for
substance.
me is I'm against this cult on a
Yeah.
fundamental level, and I know it's associated with them. So that's the main thing that's driving me to be like, we should keep this, let alone the fact it seems to have a weird effect on people. I'm just like,
Yeah, I just wanted to establish what we
Yeah.
already knew in character. But
Oh, it
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
it does make sense. You'll know that there are big Shardlin deposits out there in the wilderness.
Okay.
They look like these. I will send you guys a picture when I can
were
do
they
that.
big things like big crystals just out in the nowhere?
Yeah, they're like massive, jagged spikes
Yeah, I
of
think you showed us that.
just outcrops of these of the same
Yeah.
substance.
I'm sure
But it's
Zufira
not like
remembers, but Greg.
yeah, yeah, you do. It's not like a rocky outcrop. This is like a weird, just giant spikes that are out there.
Yeah.
With deeper research, you could probably determine their history. Um,
I certainly would research if we had access. Obviously, we can't really do
Yeah.
it yet.
Get to a big city.
yeah, when you
Yeah,
get to
have
the
they
next
been there
city,
for a
sure.
long time, or is it only?
Been here longer than 10 towns. Long
Okay.
time.
So this is natural.
Understood.
They are. That's the thing. Actually,
If it's been there longer than 10 towns, would Zufira and Quinn not have like known about it for the amount of time they've been here?
Yeah, we would have. It's just,
Right.
I guess it's now. It's like that's the mystery, right?
yeah.
Because
It's now you're calling back to this information, which is why I'm giving you the information.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fact that this material is doing it's making people go crazy. I mean, you've never really held the stuff, you've never really transported it around
No,
yourselves unless
I,
you've deliberately gone off mining a piece.
as another follower of like a different faith, I've kind of kept a wide distance
Like
from the cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
I guess it's only recently that it begun to be associated with the Frost Maiden, or is it like always long been known? That's what I thought.
This has
I thought the cult only only
the
rised up in the last
Yeah.
the
couple
cult
years.
of the Frost Maiden has arisen in the last 2 years because that's
Yeah.
the length that
Yeah.
she has been operating, let's say,
Mm.
in this region. The Shardlin has been around much longer than 10 towns. It's going right the way back to. Would have you have gone in libraries? Would have you have researched during your time
I
here?
wouldn't have had a chance yet.
Okay. What about
I'd-
you?
Probably she's not kind of a library person.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll cover
I'd be
that when we
living in
get to
Yeah,
a
once we
library.
get
yeah.
access.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then I can give you tons more information, and you can see
Yeah.
what's what.
I assume at like my home and like Good Mead now might have like some books, but it's certainly not like a wide scope of knowledge. It's probably mainly on like beer brewing and like
stuff like that. Not quite for this. I think you'll need
Yeah,
to
like
get deeper
agricultural,
information.
what they call like animal husbandry manuals and stuff
But,
like
like,
that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
As far as I understand it, the Shardland's been around for a long time, but
Mhm.
before the cult, it wasn't a nefarious thing, at least to common knowledge. At least not to my knowledge. It was just something that.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
correct.
It's not naturally evil that we know of.
Right. Anyway, I guess
Yeah,
we'll head home.
Cool.
Yeah, go back to
Good talk.
good
Okay.
meat.
Yeah.
Good talk out of character.
Yeah. I feel like I'm actually like okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, you
I'd
head
imagine
back.
some of that would be probably us talking about it in character as well, to be honest.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can talk about
Collecting
like,
some of that information, being like, what do we
Yeah.
actually know about this, you know,
Yeah.
and passing on
Yeah,
information,
like-
knowing that there are places out there that we do need to research it.
Yeah,
But-
it's probably like me and Sophia doing like stories and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like, well, I heard from Mrs. like Angular that like the fishing boats used to like see the rock spikes in the lake. Like they've been like around for a long time or something. Yeah, it'd be like
Quinn, do you remember
Holding
that
on.
time we
Tidbits.
found the corpse with all the shards in, and then the screen wobbles, and then we go back
Yeah.
to like a good 10 minutes of that bit. Fill time in the episode.
it's like Cassius just poking it with a stick in the background.
It did.
And then you remember when the hillbilly tried to lunge us to get it?
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Okay.
we get back to the town. We
Mhm.
walk back in. It's about what did I say? About 4
Four.
o'clock. 4 o'clock.
Bandits.
It's the same. Yeah, it's a second still.
Mm.
You can see that there. You can see that there are now more bodies outside of the temple,
Oh.
where these are the 5 bodies that have been taken back. They are just being they are laid out and being, let's say, just prepared and sorted,
Salted.
kind of thing. They're being sorted out.
Hmm.
You probably gauge that they've only been back a couple of hours themselves, because they set off
So,
this day.
yeah.
The deceased town speaker has been taken off of the slab and is being prepared for burial, and that will happen the next day, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
Uh,
Guess I'd probably just go to offer assistance.
yeah, sure, you can help out with that for the
Uh,
rest of the day if you like.
Yeah, it's Alexander
This is the
being like,
second, so the proper funeral, let's say, burial is the Friday the 3rd,
yeah.
and
say
then
to
the
the
election is the Sunday.
Yeah, I say to the party, be like, I'm gonna go and assist Sander with the funeral rites and dealing with this tragedy. There's
Mm.
gonna be many people in town who have lost loved ones during this
Thank you
attack.
for helping, Quint, and all of you. I'm sorry for. I know you wanted to spend some time alone today. I think I'll do the same.
If,
I know, don't worry.
if it's 4 o'clock, I think what I might do is I might say to the party, it's like, I'm going to go and find the town's guard and offer some training, because my concern is that there's just
Quite in the background, just like,
Like,
oh
fuck's
god.
sake. But yeah, like it's just like he wants to know the capabilities of this town.
Yeah,
Obviously,
sure.
they don't have a big guard
yeah,
now.
sure,
They've just lost 5 members. So for him, he wants to know what they're capable of.
It's more of like a militia, though, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's like
Yeah,
they're not
but-
full-time soldiers.
Yeah.
And they're not like every single one of them isn't suited up in like shields
Yeah,
and plate
I
mail
guess-
and all that kind of
Yeah.
I
thing.
guess the best way to describe it,
It's,
and this
it's
is
like the
some-
lifeboat people in there. Like it's
Yeah.
very
Cassius,
much
like the
volunteers.
motivational speaker that they bring to the school, who like is in the Barney costumes, like, "Hey kids, I'm gonna teach you how to fight."
Well,
If
no,
you
it's more
start
like-
doing stuff like that, this will get you better standing within the town.
Yeah,
and
I
things
guess
like
it's
that.
more tips and tricks. I can't think of a better way to describe it. Where he
No,
wants to
that's
know what their ability is, and then he's like going to offer them like, "Oh, if you stand like this, you'll be able to
All right.
block like this."
So I'll give you a few bits of information with your time with
Self-defense is
them.
cool.
They're a bit.
Be no Fool.
At first, they're a bit like, do we really
The
need help?
Furby comes up to you in the
But then
playground.
you say that you got the kegs back. You sorted out that problem. You've located the bodies. What I'll do then is I will.
And also, I'm an ex quartermaster, so I have knowledge of many weapons.
Nice.
I can use most things.
What I want to do then.
Imagine a lot of spears and slings and like other hunting
Yeah, like I mean,
weapons around here.
it's just seeing what they're capable
Daggers.
of and then offering it. I've still got two. Did I take those two swords? That I could give.
Took them from
Where
the
is it?
bodies,
There
but
you
I
Yeah.
don't
go.
think you sold them or anything.
Yeah, I've still got two short swords, so I could teach them like if they need weapons.
Alright.
Got two sets of snow boots as well, you know,
You have it.
because
Oh yeah, so I got the boots of winter on me, haven't
Yeah.
I?
so
Yeah.
yeah,
Those will stop you freezing to death.
it's not that
what you-
Cassius doesn't go on.
Yeah, so you approach them, you explain your thing.
Yeah,
You've
I'm
got
like,
15 soldiers to work with.
Yeah, I want to see what they're
Uh,
capable of, and then
Their
I'll try and offer them help.
capabilities, they are very kind of common sort of people.
So they know how to
You-
use a sword,
You
basically.
do a bit of sparring backwards and forwards, and they're not too bad. A lot of them need vast improvement. These are really like novel,
Yeah,
you know,
They-
novices.
they know how to
they-
swing a sword, but they might not have finesse.
Yes, exactly. They know
Yeah.
how to keep the wildlife from getting in the town
Yeah.
by just like any rookie swinging a sword,
Yeah.
for instance. They've sword spears. There's a few that have got like old shields, let's say.
Yeah. Okay.
And you'll realize that they don't really manage to do a lot of damage. You might have been, let's say you get taken to their little training ground, and there's like a dummy
Yeah.
that they've constructed behind one of the main buildings, and you get them to do a bit of sword swinging on that, and you can see that they're chipping the wood, but it's not going as deep as compared to you doing it,
Yeah.
and things like that.
Would they have training swords here? Like, would they have like a wooden training sword? Maybe.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would say so.
So-
They're not the best, but sure.
No. So if they've got like training swords, what I would probably do is be like trying to teach them like things they can practice,
Sure.
and just ways for them to like practice like chopping and stabbing and like defensive things to try and help them when if they ever get threatened,
Okay.
to be able to.
You can do that as well. There's one bit in the time that you spend with them where you go, okay, with the training swords, you go, you fight me, you fight me. Okay,
Yeah.
let's try both of you fighting me at the same time, which you manage to do easily. But you also realize that they seem to work better when they're with each other.
Right.
In other words, the pack tactics skill comes
Yeah.
into play.
So is
You
this
get
is
that
this when
little
it's
bit,
is this when it's two of them, or can it be 2+?
2+, basically.
Right. So I realise that they're less. It's almost like they're more confident because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, my
They're
friend's got
backing
this.
each other up.
Yeah.
They're all of those kind of things.
Okay. Cool.
You'll see that they're not really that strong.
Hmm.
You'll get an insight to, like, for instance, their strength 13, dex
Yeah.
11.
Yeah.
You'll see that they're just your people,
Yeah. Yeah. They need training, like better training.
basically.
I guess I try to teach them things that they can practice.
I wonder if I got that here as well. The veterans, let's take a look at those. So they are stronger.
Hmm.
They've been doing this longer. They are obviously better with long swords, short swords, long swords. Even there's one or two crossbows that they have. They seem to hit the mark pretty, in the center of the chest, not too bad.
Yep.
They are just all around a lot better.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
they seem to keep up their stamina, like athletics kind of stuff, a lot better. Things like that.
I guess I will spend the rest of the day training with them and trying to offer them advice and things. Trying to
Yeah.
get the veterans to also like train up the towns guard
Okay.
because and
Let's say a few names for you then.
Right.
Name me, because this will be important.
Yep.
Why not? So we've got 2 veterans.
Yep.
Give me 2 names.
Are they both male or can they be male and female or what?
Male and female. Let's have a
Okay,
blend.
so we'll call the male Arthur because that's the first name that came to my head. So
Yeah.
we got Arthur and
Guinevere.
no, let's go with something really silly. Let's go with Daisy. Daisy for the
Daisy.
female. Yeah.
Yeah. Vet 1 and Vet 2.
Yeah. I'll call him Vet 1.
Daisy.
Vet 2. Yeah, Daisy's Vet 2. Arthur is Vet 1.
Yeah. Okay. So these are people that you've gotten to know, that you've managed to train with, and you've gotten to know a bit. Give me a name of just one of the normal soldiers.
Cuthbert.
What?
Cuthbert.
Cuthbert.
Cuthbert. I'll type it in chat. Cuthbert. There you go.
You'll find that certainly he is a bit less confident, but you'll
Yep.
see with your guidance that he, at the end of the day, there's a lot more confidence that's been
Yeah.
placed there. So you build up a bit of like, this is me, this is what I do, this is my goals.
Yeah, I want to make it like clear that
connections there.
I'm not here to be like, haha, you're terrible. I'm literally there because I'm like, they've lost 5 guardsmen. I want to be able to help them so that when we do move on, they've got at least some things that they can use to train.
Yeah, that's good.
You know,
Okay.
and basically help them out. Like he's not there to be like, I'm so much better than you, because that's not how he thinks. He's just like, okay, you guys know how to fight. Now let's like add some finesse to that, you know, and help them. But he's obviously realizing that they are more capable than maybe he first thought. But the only thing he's seen so far was 5 dead guardsmen. But again, they were against an ogre, I guess, and they're not the best equipped.
Shade.
So
try not to look at the. Yeah, it's good. Sake.
What are we talking about?
Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, you spend the rest of the day doing that. What are those things called? Just so chat knows, well, people know what we're laughing at. The
Maymays?
gifts.
The memes,
Yeah, gifts and memes. Yeah,
Finest of Maymays?
many things. But in our
Baz
private
Rutan.
chat.
why do you put?
We do that.
Yeah. So whenever we get to the end of the day, I'll get to that part. So yeah, that's me. That's what I'll be doing until I come.
What else do you guys do? Is there anything in this time before the next day rolls around that you want to do?
Cleric shit, basically, is what I'm doing.
That's fine. You can help out at the temple. You can
Let Amelia go
those
for
things. You can do stuff at the mead hall. You can catch up with Dakut. His book's coming on.
The Coot's boot.
For you, Amelia, you spend a bit of time with him. You
Cuddle down.
see about the book. It's coming on. That green eye that he's got, he will still need to research that. Probably at the library as well. There might be he suggests the library in one of the bigger cities that you'll go to anyway. It's like maybe a research montage in the future.
Yeah.
Gonna be a montage.
Also go for some drinks in the mead hall, just to
Yeah, sure. Okay.
take our mind off
When
some
you're in
stuff.
the mead hall, it's evening. You've done your day of going around. You, Cassius, come in after training, a bit tired. You need some food. It's now tea time.
Been at it for about 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly. It's
will I
like
be?
8-9 o'clock at night.
Standing in the
And
dark as well.
you're all sitting there around the table. The bees are still buzzing. The fragrances of the flowers floating around the hall. And there is a woman that comes in. I need to get to the
Olivia?
particular bit. Yes,
Olivia?
this is Olivia's. Am I saying that right? I don't know.
No, it's Olivia.
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 Olivas.
I shouldn't say it wrong and confuse.
Leviosa.
I'll do the thing again.
Hello.
This one. All of us.
Oliver.
She comes
Olivessa.
up to she comes up to your group and she says, so, do you mind if I sit down with you?
By
I
all
want to
means.
discuss some things.
I get out
And
my whip.
she
Am I
on the
back?
table. She sits down. Yeah.
I don't think Zufira would be here.
Okay.
Would I
Where
be
would you
back?
be? Yeah, this is everyone gathers in the evening for
Okay.
the meal and the drink.
Oh yeah, cool.
I'll do a quick scene to explain what Zufira is doing
Okay.
because she's just been out, sort of outside of town a little ways, just with Dende, sitting and talking to him, and just like, just tired, and Dende would be probably running around just eating snow.
Being a dragon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strange being back here. And yeah, I think it would just be a case of her mulling over the events of the day and fighting over mead and spending time with people in a close way. Probably for the first time in decades, she's just been by herself. And even with this dragon, it's just strange. And just spending some time by herself for the first time in what seems like ages. The last week for her has just been such pressure, spending so much time around other people. She's been like years just by herself, and so it's just very weird.
Oh, sure.
And yeah, I won't role play it out, but yeah, she's
But
just
yeah.
decompressing.
Yellow snow everywhere.
What I want to get from this, so yeah, you see the woman come up. A middle-aged woman approaches
I guess she
you.
comes back in during this point.
Okay.
So we're all here.
Yeah.
So this is her approaching the table that you all sat at. She approaches you and removes her thick wool scarf so that she can speak clearly.
Mm.
Um, and she looks at you all, and there's a moment of her gauging. Has one of you appointed yourself like a leader kind of role yet? That you may have like put on whilst you were here without really realizing it much?
I mean, I
From-
know her because we both work in the brewery.
Yeah.
I think
makes
while
the
we're in
barrels,
Goodmead,
doesn't she?
Quinn's kind of leading us.
Yeah.
Mighty Quinn.
Because I pretty much know everyone here.
Okay,
So I
Quinn's been
guess
around. Yeah, that
me?
makes sense. Okay, cool. She
My
looks at you.
house!
My house. She looks at you and says openly to the rest of you, but she acknowledges you. She says, "My name is," but she gives her name.
You can do it. You can do it, Phil. You can do it.
Olivia.
That time and I've already forgotten it. Olivessa, yeah. She says, "My name is Olivessa." She says, "Can I sit with you all? I want to talk to you."
I say, no worries. Sit, join us.
Take out the whip.
These are my new friends. I introduce everyone.
Okay.
Go through that.
Put the bondage
She
whip away.
sits down and she says, "So you've probably seen me around, but I help make the mead every now and again. But I have been talking to my friends. I think you might have even been in there at the same time in the mead hall, and we don't want Shander Shanderfroth to become the next town speaker. But we all think that he's just too untrustworthy. I mean, I don't really know him at all. I don't know him at all that well. But I have been urged to run against him because I've been here for a while. Is there anything you say, or do you let her carry on?
I'll keep silent for a minute.
Like, just say what I know. Like, I know So she'd be like on the up and up, right? I've known her for a long time.
She's a person. Yeah. She's been here long enough to know what's what.
Yeah. And I guess I don't know the other guy so well, the dwarf guy.
Not really.
She doesn't know
Froth.
him. I probably won't know him either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I would just say to the group, say like, well, I believe that it's better to have a speaker, someone we know and who knows the town well. I do not know of this gentleman.
Mm.
If he's unknown to the people, then why do you consider him a threat? Don't you vote or?
It's just it's the rumors that I've heard about him. I've done a bit of looking into things myself, and me and my friends believe that he is most untrustworthy. But this is why I come to you. And she looks at Quinn again, and she says, I have no interest in becoming town speaker. I feel like I just don't really want to do that job. I quite like what I do already. I know somebody needs to fill that space and at least lead the town. But you, and she leans towards Quinn a bit more. But you,
Wonderful hobbit.
yeah, but you seem to be a good leader, and this town really could use somebody like you. What do you think?
This Quinn looks very surprised.
Yeah, there is basically somebody who needs to run the town, and she
Like
thinks you're
Quinn's
it.
very like, I've only been here like 30 years, 40 years. Like I've not been like I'm like a native. I think Quinn's is very taken aback.
Guess all the good mead, man.
You're like,
Doing a good job.
wow, I thank you for your confidence in me. As I was once seen as an outsider myself, but I have made this place my home. But unfortunately, I don't think my path is that of a speaker, at least not yet. I feel a desire to rid Icewind Dale of this blight of the last couple of years.
I
And
mean,
I cannot do this while also being the speaker.
She she looks down, and then she looks down at the table, and then you see her hand go up and like almost like clutch something that's underneath the scarf that's been pulled down.
No, God.
And she's
To
just
be
like,
a fucking piece of rock, isn't it?
and she's like, "Are you?" She looks back up at
Insight
you.
check.
It's like a girl to girl.
yeah, insight
Sorry,
check.
inside check.
Yeah.
If you want to, sure.
I've been watching this whole thing. The way that she seems threatened by this person that nobody knows anyway. It's like,
Yeah.
why are they trying to get
I'm suspicious as fuck.
12 on the insight?
Well,
I
you can't
I
really
guess I
make
should.
heads or tails of
I'll
things
give
like
it a
that.
whirl.
You
Sure.
think that there is proper like
Oh,
emotion
yeah.
coming through this in terms of like really wanting
Oh,
to
wow.
offload
I should have
the
given you
kind of like
advantage.
pressure.
Hmm.
What did the rest of you get? Sorry.
11 and
Oh,
11.
yeah, I
Go
got
home.
one worse.
Yeah, same sort of instincts as the like. This is somebody that
I was
doesn't
going to
want
say
the
if you're trying
position
to do it.
and wants to get rid of the position
Yeah.
onto somebody else they think is better. So she goes on to
Oh.
say, looking at you,
Wow.
are you sure I would give you my full support and serve my friends? And because I'm already,
Frostmaiden.
she sighs and says, running for this position, you would have far better standing if you had my weight of vote behind you.
I know, like, they're the speaker. I know it's, like, basically the
You're basically
mayor.
a town leader. You're the mayor.
Is there a lot of, like, actual, like, daily admin and stuff? Like, would I need to be, like, based here? Would I
You
be
would,
able to spend a couple of weeks off adventuring and then come
yeah.
back?
It's almost like you would need to be around. You could probably appoint a stand-in if really need to, like a personal aid. But you know, who would do that? You don't know. You've not, you know, unless we come up with something, it's like you've not really
Gareth.
got that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I was kind of
going.
thinking like,
But a town needs running. You know, like, how long
yeah,
can you stay away before people are like, this person's not doing their job? What
yeah,
they're
that's
doing?
what I'm thinking. It's like outside of this massive natural disaster in the campaign, I'd definitely be up for being the speaker. But yeah, yeah, it's
You also know that one of your duties would be attending the. I think it's like once a month or something. All the town speakers get together and they just discuss what they're doing.
Yeah, like the
Committee
meeting.
meeting, you know.
Yeah, I guess yeah. So I would be honored to fulfill this role. It's a very high honor, but I cannot spare the time. This climate, this part of the world, this everything is wrong here. It needs to be corrected. I feel like this is why my deity has guided my path here. If later on it is my path to become a speaker, then I will accept the responsibilities. But I feel like you, with your standing and your connections to this town, would make a better speaker than I, especially currently.
She sighs and looks like fiddles with her hands for a minute in the kind of like, it's not going as I thought. And she's like, she seems put out by it all, and kind of like tired by it all. And she's like, okay, I guess just I'll leave you. Just come and find me before Sunday if you change your mind. Yeah, the election's coming up, so I guess the best thing to do is still run against that dwarf, and you know, maybe me and my friends can run this town. Maybe we can turn it into something a bit more group led.
I'm
You
gonna
don't
knock
mind
her
me
out.
asking, what is it about this dwarf that you don't trust?
Is it Sander?
Froth.
Sander
Shander
Froth?
Froth.
Shandar Froth.
Sander Froth, that's it.
Yeah,
Should I remember the
Shander
guy's
Froth.
name? Cool.
You gone quiet?
Yeah, no, that's because I'm doing my own research in the
I'll
question.
knock her out at this point because, quite frankly, I can't trust her.
Okay. I know he's been here for a while, and he's in good standing with the loggers that are around, but he's just he can be a bit of a bully sometimes, and seems a bit hot-headed and blowhard. You know, he tends to like fly off the handle really easily. I really don't think he's suited to the role. I know
Bullies
he
do
lives in a
tend to
small
gravitate
house
to
with
power.
like, sorry?
Bullies do tend to gravitate to power.
Yeah. I think he's being led on by somebody else. Then, you know, why would he go for this position? I mean, nobody has really asked him properly, so he must have motives of his own, if not from somebody else.
Can I attempt to intimidate her?
If you want.
Because I want to know
What's your aim?
she's. I want to know what this was underneath. Because you said it was
Just
underneath the
before
clothing.
you...
Yeah.
Oh, Dave's left. I was going to say something that concerned him.
He's gone to the loo. I can wait, or I can intimidate.
No, you go. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm just gonna I'm gonna say to her, I'm just gonna be like, something seems off, my dear, and quite frankly, like, I'm concerned about whatever this is underneath. So I would prefer it if you were to show us right now. And I'm gonna roll intimidation, and I got a 7, and I
Failed.
You want to show what's under her shirt? You're intimidating her to pull her top
no,
down.
show her whatever this necklace is. I should probably have stated.
Terrible, Cassius.
What did you? Sorry, what did you say?
So I've said I'm I'd say to her basically like something seems off.
Yep.
You've got something underneath your shirt, which is some kind of necklace, and
Okay.
I want to see what that is, basically.
Yeah.
Because I have suspicions.
She simply is like, okay, and she pulls up this little chain,
Yeah.
and it's just, it's like a little pendant. It's a
Okay.
blue, nice pendant, material just made out of like a blue stone. And she's like, this was my mother's. She just holds it there for a second, then puts it back away.
I guess I apologize because obviously it's not what I thought it was. So I
Yeah,
apologize.
he's like, you're trying to get out of her, and she's like, she side eyes you a bit, but accepts your like
Yeah.
apology.
And I apologize, and I say, because of the day that we've had, we've been dealing with some rather unsavory things, and I would like to make sure my suspicions are not things I do not need to worry about, and you have proven this to me, and so therefore I apologize for those suspicions in the first place.
What was it in the end?
Just she
Potential-
yeah, basically he tried to intimidate her, failed, but she showed that it was just like her mother's like hand me
Oh
down
yeah,
kind of thing.
sorry.
It
I
was like a
curious if it's
blue,
like a religious symbol or
yeah,
something.
it was like a blue
I
rock in
I
like a
was like,
silver
it's
chain.
fucking Charlin, isn't it?
It's everywhere. No.
Yeah,
Um.
but I
So
think
yeah, after that talk, she'll basically leave you guys to it. She goes, "Okay, I'm going to basically go back to my house. Thank you." She says, I'm gonna go back to my house, and turn in for the night. So thank you, thank you very much for like just hearing me out. And like I say, if you change your mind, come and find me. Um, I will be here tomorrow, sorting out things.
Yeah, say
So
I'll
there's that.
see you tomorrow, Alyssa. Then just wait for her to leave.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to do? If not, then
I
we will go to the
would.
next day.
I just want to say to I guess I asked Quinn specifically,
Sure.
like, are we planning on staying here until the election is done?
I would like to stay here for the funeral and the elections. Only another
2 days.
2 days.
2 days. Yeah.
Okay, so at that, Cassius is going to say,
3 days.
I spent
Oh,
some
yeah.
time with the town militia today, helping them train. If we are planning on staying, I will probably spend most of my time helping them out. I feel this is beneficial to the town. I seem to have left a good impression, and I hope that this may help them, fare against any other things that may happen while we are gone. Hopefully, nothing bad will happen, but hopefully, this will help. So, unless I am required or needed for anything else, I will probably spend my time helping them train.
Say it's fine by me. I'd like to talk more to this Froth. I don't know him.
Agreed.
I'd like to find out a bit more, mainly for my own interest in this town.
You can ask around. You've got time to just like get information.
While I'm like talking to people, doing clericy stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe spending a couple of hours in the brewery and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my plan for the next couple of days is to do that.
I'll probably just
Until the
help Quinn do that, to be
election's
honest.
over.
Because it's not really my place to get involved with their politics of their village, but I definitely help Quinn ascertain information he wants.
Cool,
Oh
cool.
yeah, that's what I'm after. While like doing my day job, since I haven't been in town for a while.
Well, nothing else to do.
If that is everything for this day, at least.
Yeah. Zufira would just be spending the next few days trying to get to grips with her new abilities or magic, I think.
Yeah. Okay. And you were given more stable like lodging here instead of just sleeping on the floor of the next to the fires or whatever, so you can have you can either share a room upstairs, or there aren't really many rooms to go around, but you can like pair up if need be. Let's say there are 2 rooms, one is yours, and then there is another going spare, so it's up to you how you pair up, for instance.
Yeah, I mean, I'd offer like the floor of my room. I always imagined it's very like humble. yeah, I offer it toward the party. So, like,
Yeah, I mean,
I think,
Cassie's happy with whoever.
yeah, I think Zufira would probably go with Quinn, just because like sharing a room with a dude seems weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Cassius gets on well with Amelia anyway.
keep the
so he's like,
locals together.
Mhm.
Okay then. Well, with that, you settle down for the rest of the night and you drift off into sleep. Fortunately,
bye, Jack.
no nightmares are had
Oh,
this time.
I'd say
No curses are present. And I think for tonight we'll park the session there.
Oh,
Level up.
Uncur-
yay!
Nice.
Yay!
Okay.
Level up.
Cheeky
Not
level
yet.
up.
Do anything.
Mhm.
We talked a lot. Isn't that
I'll
enough to
level up
level
when
up?
I say so.
Oh,
it's milestone leveling. That means we get a level after every session, right?
You have to kill
Yeah.
the beaks first.
The amount of XP
Oh,
you would have
no.
to kill every session.
Yeah, think of all that
Every day.
XP we just left on the table. That's one thing I like about doing milestone leveling. So you've been doing things like that where you're like, but if we kill all these creatures, more XP.
True. Go out and kill thousands of pigs. More
Hmm.
XP. Balls. Anyway. So yes, everyone, that was our episode. What was it? Seven
7.
now?
That was 7, yeah.
Hey, there must be hundreds left.
Oh, no.
But thank you everybody for watching. We'll just go round quickly
yeah.
to do our outros. So Jack, if you would like to say I know you run a YouTube channel, for instance.
Yeah, cool. So thanks everyone for watching. I'm Jack, aka Don Hayes. I run several YouTube channels. YouTube.com/Don Hayes is my main one, where I do cinematic movies and cutscenes and that type of thing for video games. And I also run a Don Hayes Plays channel where I do playthroughs and let's play videos for a bunch of different video games. Doing a lot of role play on there as well. Me and Levi just done a load of, or Killjoy just done a load of Baldur's Gate stuff. So soon we'll be loading that one up. And I've just also started Solasta, the magistrates.
Playing Celesta,
Yes, I just started
Crown of the
today.
Magister.
Yeah, Crown of the Magister.
Love
That's
that
the
game.
one. Yeah, literally just started that today, so hopefully we'll be putting that up as well very soon. Another roleplay type D&D 5e tabletop game. So yeah, that's me. Links will be in the description below, and they same for everyone else as well who's got YouTube channels.
Yeah. How about you, Levi?
Right, yeah. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Levi, aka Killjoy. If you want to check my stuff out, go and check out the Engineering Bay on YouTube. Got hopefully some fun stuff coming up, actually. Got some discussion stuff, hopefully, with this one. I don't know if the camera's in the right place, but with Mr.
Down.
Fruity over
Yeah.
down, is he?
Yeah,
he's
he's
on
below,
mine,
yeah.
he's up.
Oh,
He's below
I
me.
mean, I'm like
Yeah.
center. So.
But, yeah, so me and Fruity and Mark will be getting back to doing stuff fairly soon, which is going to be great. But yeah, hopefully got some stuff on Mario Kart coming out soon, and some more opinion-based content, as well as a channel update on some few things and ideas. But yeah, if you want to check me out there, again, the link will be down in the description. Come say hi. I'm quite the cheery fellow, me. So.
How about you, Greg?
My name is Greg. I run YouTube/Egregious Games on YouTube. And I just do like video essays and stuff like that. I am a game dev. That's kind of what I mainly do. Other than that, I don't do that much. I'm mostly here for D&D.
Nice.
Elden Ring.
And Dave, you're pretty much in and out of what these two do sometimes.
Yeah, I appear on these things with these people and their channels. Yeah. Hopefully, I'm doing music. And hopefully, I'll have something to show for that. But that's going to be like months from now.
That's
So
good.
just remember, I do music.
And me, well, all the guitars in the background. And me personally, I
They're
don't
all
do any
mine.
of these YouTube things. I
Yeah,
just
mine
run
are way
with-
better.
Yeah. So, everyone,
him.
thank you very much for tuning in. Join us next time, and we'll see what these guys uncover about this dwarf running for town speaker. We'll see how the funeral goes, and we'll see who gets elected in the coming days. And
All the
then
shenanigans.
any other shenanigans that happen in the meantime. So yes, adios.
Yeah.
See you next time.
I will.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Later.